Turkey, just $1.49 a pound now through November 24th. Get real. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center, high of 53 today. Hardly any clouds. Lows drop to the mid-20s tonight, but skies will stay clear before warming back up to the 50s and sunny tomorrow. 50 degrees and sunny now. I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
Weekend crime numbers, Hammer. The numbers I'm going to give to you are very similar to what happened in Chicago this weekend. Normally, the numbers are like double. I like to compare and contrast.
For the population difference, it makes sense.
Of course, per capita. Not this weekend so much. So here in Indy, 13 people shot, 2 stabbed, 3 killed. Is that Friday through Sunday? That's
Friday through Sunday.
So that would make, if today, this is today, 3 more shot today with 1 killed so far today. So that makes 16 shot, 2 stabbed, and 4 killed since Friday.
Just since Friday alone.
Friday. That's including the numbers from today. Chicago weekend shootings, 3 killed, 17 wounded in shootings across the city.
Wow.
Or worse. It's almost worse if you add in today.
But wait a minute. Ryan Mears won re-election. I was told that he was going to be tough on crime, and this was the guy, and that all of these talking points about the crime in the city, hogwash.
Well, no, wait a minute. I know we're over 200 homicides for the year so far, but it's nothing compared to the record, right?
Well, the record was last year. We're coming off a record year, and no, we are not on a record pace. But, point of order, if you were to look at the 3 biggest years of homicides in Indianapolis, it would be the last 3 years, counting this year. Over 200 homicides, again, has become the norm. But here's the thing. I don't think people in Indianapolis get to complain about it anymore, because 60% of the vote went to Ryan Mears. And listen, let's be honest.
Soft on crime, no doubt.
Boss Hogsett is probably going to win again. I know we'll talk about the mayor's race here in just a second, but if you look at the registered Democrats to registered Republican ratio in Marion County, the prosecutor's race kind of fell right within that, 60 to 40%. Cindy Carrasco had a pretty decent campaign. She had money, she had commercials, and she had a vulnerable candidate in Ryan Mears, and he still won with ease, with 60% of the vote. So this tells me, and I can say this because I'm an Indianapolis resident, people like what's happening. People approve of what's happening. 60% say 200 homicides. Hot damn, I'm here for that.
Chicago, by the way, has some of the most stringent gun laws in the country, Hammer. And they're still on, I think they're on a record pace there as well, but they'll blame it on Indiana.
They'll blame everything on Indiana, of course.
I don't know. I think we just, back to Indy, don't you feel like, don't you want some new blood in there, in the administration, the upper echelons of law enforcement, not law enforcement, but, in terms of prosecution and who's running the city? Is it
city leadership?
City leadership, yes. City county council members. Is it time for some new blood?
Well, I would say yes, but 60% of the vote would say no, because all they will do is go to the ballot box and vote straight ticket Democrat. I don't know if 60% of the vote approved of Ryan Mears, but 60% of the vote said, you know what, we're just going to vote for blue.
Like that poor woman outside the daycare that got shot and killed. The guy, her assailant, should have never been out of jail in the first place.
No. And you look at the incompetence of some of this stuff, right? The just laziness and refusal to look at the red flag law, which led to the FedEx massacre. How many, quote, spelling errors allowed bad guys back out of the streets where they did heinous crimes? Spelling errors. We heard that more than once this past year. But again, clearly, Indianapolis is all on board. They see 200 homicides and they think, well, it's not quite a record. Close, but it's not quite a record, so progress. There was a time not that long ago I'm not talking about 30 years ago or 25 years ago. Not that long ago, where under 100 homicides was a reasonable goal.
That was the norm
for the city of Indianapolis. And now over 200 is expected. But you don't get to complain if you live in Indianapolis and you vote for this kind of stuff. You don't get to say a damn word because clearly you like it. Now, you heard at the news earlier, there's another name in the mix for the mayor's race in Indianapolis because Boss Hogsett has already said he's running for a third term, despite the fact that he said that he believed in term limits. He's in for number 3. And now Pastor James Jackson is running for the mayor of Indianapolis as a Republican. He filed the paperwork and informed his church members at the Fervent Prayer Church of his decision.
Oh, so 2 Republicans now. Abdul hasn't officially.
Abdul hasn't officially said he's in or not.
Our co-worker Abdul Hakim Shabazz has been toying around with a run for mayor on the Republican side. We got like a Republican primary in the works, possibly. Jackson
against Abdul, possibly. Who knows? And then on the Democratic side, you've got somebody challenging one Diamond Joe. You've got Robin Shackelford. She is running as a Democrat. She's a state representative, and she's going to try to get some of the vote that Joe Hogsett hasn't been able to win over, the African-American female vote in Indianapolis. So we've got action in regards to the mayor's race, but if you're handicapping this thing, and again, I'm a sports betting guy, you have to look at Joe Hogsett as the overwhelming heavy favorite in this field right now because people in Indianapolis, they clearly don't want change. They like what's happening. They think it's cute, apparently, to have 200 homicides year after year. So it is what it is at this point. Tomorrow, Nigel, we're going to find out if that affidavit in the arrest of the accused Delphi killer is going to be released and what type of information are we going to get?
I mean, Doug Carter sat in here and told us, Superintendent Doug Carter, Indiana State Police sat right there in that chair and told us that we're going to learn some things, right?
If this affidavit is released, and there's a hearing coming up, I believe, on the 22nd, that's got some information that led to the arrest of Richard Allen, the suspect. If that is allowed to be given to the public, is that going to compromise the investigation in any way?
No, I don't think at this point it will. And I think it'll answer a lot of the questions that people have. And
will we find out how we got to this point with that information?
Yeah, it'll be much clearer.
Now, will they unseal it tomorrow?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Hey,
you're going to need to give us another 30 days.
Or will they unseal it and then do the Washington, D.C. trick of having 8 pages all blacked out and redacted so you can't get any information? If we get any information, this is the show that will break it all down. We have been on this story from the time we were given the keys to the afternoon show here at WIBC, and we're going to see this thing all the way through. So tune in tomorrow as we'll have the absolute latest on this Delphi story, the affidavit, and if we have any information that led to this arrest of the suspect, Richard Allen. Over the weekend, Big Nige, in Washington, House Minority Leader, possibly Majority Leader here in a few months, Kevin McCarthy, he pledged to kick some of these high-ranking Democrats, high-profile Democrats, off of some of their committees. Swalwell, Adam Schiff, and squad member Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, I mean, how can you have Eric Swalwell on a intel committee, on a security committee, with his background? He got compromised by a Chinese honeypot.
Right.
The Fang Fang.
That's fancy talk where he was banging spies.
I mean, it's not up for debate. That's what happened. That's what he was doing.
That happened. And he's on the intel committee. So, yes, I approve of this, but... And I think Rob talked about this earlier today. I've got concerns that if this is the only thing that they're going to be talking about and doing with the majority in Congress, how does that help people with prices at the grocery store? How does that help people at the gas pump? You're going to have to come up with some sort of strategy to make the lives of people better. And I know it's an uphill climb because you're not going to have the Senate and you've got Captain Dementia sitting in the White House, but you're going to have to come up with something better than just, well, we're going to kick them off and we're going to have hearings, lots of hearings, Joe and Hunter and okay. But at the end of the day, how is that going to make the lives better of the people who voted to put you into office? All right, Matt Baer, what's going on?
Closed 465 south side, westbound lanes and Man Road, all lanes shut down because of a 3-vehicle crash, including a semi. There is a fuel spill and traffic is stopped from Man back to I-65 delay time, 115 minutes. East side, northbound 465 crash at Fall Creek north of East 56, blocking 2 left lanes, and traffic is stopped back to Penn Pike. Traffic sponsored by Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000, 999-9000. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Cheryl Baker on the YouTube chat. We need a fancy talk dictionary from the Hammer and Nigel show. I think we could probably work on one of those for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if we could publish it because we'd probably get fired, but definitely we can put something together. 50 degrees at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Tony Katz.
When you start going down this idea that people you disagree with aren't human, the rhetoric, the dehumanization leads to disaster. It leads to violence. It leads to bloodshed. The people who want to scream anybody they disagree with is a Nazi, that's the dehumanizing. That's a real issue. I think everyone needs a bourbon and needs to calm down.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Soaking in a hot tub full of Epsom salts is the absolute best way to minimize everyday aches and pains. And we know all about Epsom salts at Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs on the market that can safely and effectively use Epsom salts. Made right here in Indiana, Royal Spa hot tubs are the highest quality hot tubs on the market. Visit any one of our 3 Indianapolis locations or visit royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as
Heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52,
36,
42,
you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated.
With Prevnar 20.
Drip. Drip. Drip.
Annoying, isn't it?
Drip.
It's even worse when it's coming from your fireplace.
Drip.
That water stain on the ceiling isn't going to fix itself. Call Chimney Solutions Indiana. Their certified technicians will make sure your fireplace is ready for reliable comfort this season. Stop the
drip.
Call the experts trusted by thousands of Indiana homeowners. Call Chimney Solutions Indiana at 317-757-6979 or go to chimneyindy.com.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for just $40 per month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. Plus, ask how to get a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 1/1/2023. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Compare pricing of top carriers. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Comcast Business Internet required. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep services for 12 months for discount. Results vary. Not an endorsement. Hi, my name is Jackie, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the whipped cream and the cherry on top. It's like a little bow on top of this great present of peppermint chip goodness. It tastes like the holidays.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. For me, no milkshake is topping the peppermint chip milkshake.
Order a Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Fashion Store.
Hammer and Nigel, 93 WIBC.
You're a famous radio personality.
Famous.
I'm not famous.
All right, Hammer, what do we think of this viral picture of John Mellencamp sitting for the anthem during the Colts game yesterday?
You know, it's not the biggest thing in the world. This is a free country. He's got a right to do whatever he wants, but stand the hell up, dude.
There's some interesting backstory here because this is on Fox News now. There's the headline: John Mellencamp sits for national anthem before Colts-Eagles game. Mellencamp was in a box high above Lucas Oil Stadium, and one NFL fan snapped the picture and sent it to Dan Dockich. So Dockich is getting some national run here. And then, I guess I didn't know it was Coach that ran with the whole thing.
Good for him. It's not the biggest story in the world. I'm more upset that the Colts laid a complete egg yesterday. Like it or not, it's a free country. He can do what he wants. But it takes very little effort to stand up, put your hand over your chest, or put your hands behind your back for the national anthem.
Pay some respects. And there's kids behind him. Everybody else, literally everybody else in the box. I'm sitting here right now looking at Dockich's Twitter. Everybody else in the box is standing up except him and a little boy behind him.
Like a little kid, I get it. Okay, he's probably not even paying attention. But Mellencamp knows exactly what he's doing. There was a late night show. I think it was Letterman. Might have been somebody else, but I'm pretty sure it was Letterman. And this was during the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, right? The take a knee, where Mellencamp performed a song, and at the end, he went down and took a knee on the performance.
No.
Yes, that totally happened. So he's that guy, right?
Well, I know he doesn't. He's not. He was certainly an anti-Trump. Hated Donald Trump and his supporters. Very vocal about that.
He's always been a big lefty, though, always. And it's funny how the political left has evolved, though, right? You wrote a song called, I fought authority, authority always wins, and now you're siding with the authority. Life comes at you fast, doesn't it, Cougar? Come on. Stand the hell up for the national anthem. It takes, just a little bit of your energy.
You called him Cougar.
Johnny Cougar?
Oh. What if you just met him? You didn't even call him Johnny. Say, what's up, Cougar? Because he dropped Cougar a long time ago.
He did.
Cougar. What's up, Cougar? Cougar. He'd have his sons come beat you up.
Oh, yeah. They're a violent group, aren't they? Our mutual pal, Chris Spangle, had a great line on, I think it was Facebook. He saw that picture and said, I'm surprised he's not smoking.
He loves a good cig.
24 hours in a day. I think John Mellencamp is smoking 23 hours of them. The other time, it's either a little bit of sleep, maybe taking a dump. I don't know. But that dude loves a good lung dart.
Believe it or not, when Mellencamp knelt down and did the Black Power fist, it was on a Stephen Colbert show.
It was on Colbert.
Shocker,
Okay.
I know.
Wow. Okay. Stand up. It doesn't take that much effort, especially when the NFL's trying to do Military Appreciation Month, where they've got the big flag out there and, the camouflage gear where the coaches and everybody's wearing.
But like you said, though, and you were dead on with this, as Colts fans, you got bigger fish to fry at this point.
Right.
Who cares?
Don't let John Mellencamp hijack the fact that this team can't score. Speaking of NFL stuff, the Bills were not able to play in Buffalo over the weekend because of the massive snowstorm. Did you see that?
Yeah, 16 inches in some areas, 6 feet, up to 6 feet in others. Crazy. I saw Bills Mafia shoveling the driveways of Bills players. Going to their houses and shoveling their driveways so they could get out of their driveway and go to the airport to get on a plane to Detroit.
Right. Those are hardcore fans. Yeah. They were upset that the game was moved. They were ready to go to the stadium with 6 feet of snow up high. But 2 people died shoveling driveways in that storm.
No kidding.
2 people, which it's always been kind of like an urban legend.
I thought it was.
Right? People have heart attacks shoveling snow, but it actually happens, and 2 people lost their lives in Buffalo. That's crazy. Dateline St. Louis, a young girl out of St. Louis was honored last week after she helped her mom deliver her baby sister at home with the help of a 911 dispatcher on the phone.
How old?
This is 10-year-old Miracle, the 911 dispatcher, and Miracle's mom talking about how all of this went down.
She said, call 911, and then I called, and then that's when she had the baby.
I learned pretty quick that we had a serious situation. She followed all of my instructions to a T and did an amazing job, and a few minutes later, we had another baby girl in the house.
It was definitely a miracle, because once I had the baby and she came out, I couldn't really grab her or pick her up or nothing, so then Miracle came, and she was trying to wrap her up in a towel. She kind of rubbed her back a little bit so she could cry. Very thankful.
Sweetheart. I mean, that would scar me for life if I was 10 years old and saw that. But she's a hero. The 10-year-old is a sweetheart and a hero. A little baby sister there. But, seeing placenta and afterbirth and blood.
From your mom.
Yeah, just seeing that would hey, Mom, remember the time your placenta was all over the kitchen floor?
Yeah, I saved the day. Remember that?
Oh, I'd never let my mom forget that.
Right?
Yeah. Or my baby brother or sister.
Right. When they're old enough to function, you grab them by the shirt collar. You're here because of me. I brought you into this world. I'll take you out.
Literally.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Christmas can sometimes be difficult to manage. It brings back memories. Some are great and some are painful. I lost my dad 11 years ago, and every Christmas I think of him. And if I got to talk to him today, this is what I think he would say. Hi, sweetie. I loved calling you that when I was with you. I've seen you pull up that voice message I left you all those years ago when I called you that. I love knowing that it blessed you too, and I miss being able to sit and talk with you. I wish I could tell you how proud I am of you.
We don't often talk about grief during the Christmas season, and yet Christmas can bring up memories that evoke pain and heartache because of the loss of a loved one. Hi, this is Pastor Micah Beckwith, and our Blue Christmas experience at Life Church is designed to give you a space to remember, to ponder, and to feel. Come to one of our Blue Christmas experiences and find a new freedom and joy during the holidays. Go to lcbluechristmas.com for times and locations.
The holidays will be here before you know it, and these deals will be gone before you know it. Don't miss Helzberg Diamonds' The Best Deals of the Year Black Friday sale. Up to 60% off for a limited time on sparkling diamond hoops and studs. And can't miss gifts like beautiful diamond pendants and tennis bracelets. And here's a gift for you, a free Nintendo Switch Lite with a purchase of $699.99 or more. Visit Helzberg.com or a store near you. Offer valid November 22nd through November 30th while supplies last. See online or in-store for details.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A break from the cold, 50 degrees and sunny on Monument Circle. Radar is clear. Lows drop down to 26 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 329. Even though it's going to get cold again in December, things will get warmer this week.
And on Tuesday, we'll see another dry and sunny day and highs in the lower 50s. And by Wednesday, we get into the mid-50s, again with more dry weather.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service says there's no chance for rain until Thanksgiving Day, but even then, it's not expected to be anything substantial. Avon High School was on lockdown after what school administrators are calling a situation happened during the last passing period of the day. School principal Matt Shockley told our news gathering partners at Wish TV that all students and staff are safe and accounted for. There were no guns or knives involved. The Biden administration says it has evidence of war crimes committed by Russian troops in Ukraine. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
The U.S. State Department says there are thousands of reports of potential war crimes committed by Russian forces in Ukraine.
We have reports of citizens being killed execution style with their hands bound. We have bodies that show signs of torture.
Ambassador at Large for Global Criminal Justice Beth Van Schaak says the torture includes sexual assaults of women and children.
These atrocities are not the acts of rogue units or individuals. Rather, they're part of a deeply disturbing pattern of reports of abuse across all areas where we're seeing Russia's forces engaged.
Jared Halpern, Fox News.
One person is dead and at least 16 hurt after an SUV drove into an Apple store in Massachusetts this morning in a town just south of Boston. The local district attorney would not say if the crash was intentional, but said the driver is a man and was detained. President Biden is officially pardoning 2 turkeys from North Carolina.
I hereby pardon. I hereby pardon Chocolate and Chip.
The president took part in the annual turkey pardoning ceremony on the White House lawn, surrounded by members of his staff and family. He called it a wonderful Thanksgiving tradition. With traffic at 331, here's Matt Bear.
Southside westbound 465 of Man Road has reopened with the right lane blocked, so it's still going to be slow going through there. Slow back to Harding Street, front of the line starting to move, but we are stopped still from Harding back to Emerson Avenue. Total delay time running about 92 minutes right now. That will get better. Northbound 465 on the east side, crash at Fall Creek. 2 left lanes blocked to stop traffic back to Penn Pike, and beyond that, we're looking at a delay of 73 minutes there on the east side. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware. Remember to sleep in Friday morning because the Sleep In sale starts Friday at 10 a.m. at Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Colder air sinks in force once again tonight. Temperatures falling down into the 20s in the overnight hours. Sunshine, dry conditions as high pressure remains in control for your Tuesday. Expect high temperatures in the low 50s. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
That's really loud.
It is the Hammer and Nigel Show. Guy Relford in studio for Monday Gun Day.
Hey, Guy.
How you doing, Guy?
I'm great, man. It's great to see you guys. And thanks as always to our sponsor for Monday Gun Day. That's Fort Liberty Firearms in Avon, 8401 East Highway 36. Great place to buy firearms, ammunition, and accessories. Stop by and check out my buddies at the fort at fortlibertyfirearms.com.
So I'm scrolling through social media, and I see you correcting multiple television stations around the city of Indianapolis.
And a prominent Indianapolis attorney, that's right.
About what a carjacking is. And this is in regards to this story about the gas station. So let's start from the very beginning. Let's say somebody is tuning in. They haven't heard the story. Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah, well, there's an auto theft. It's not a carjacking. It was an auto theft that was attempted at the Marathon Station at Southeastern and Emerson here on the near southeast side. And apparently a guy left his car. I don't know if it was running or left the keys in it, but the car is sitting there, and there's a video of this. It's sitting at the pump. The dude who was driving the car goes in the gas station. In the meantime, somebody else jumps in his car and is backing up to pull out and steal the car. The guy who had been previously driving the car, and I'm not calling him the car owner, and I'll make that clear why I'm saying that in a minute. He runs out, see that the car he was driving is leaving, runs up to the driver's side of the vehicle and pulls a gun, pop, pop, shoots the guy driving the car, who pulls out onto, it looked like Emerson, pulls over, crashes into a tree, and he dies.
Okay, so the guy leaves his car running at the gas station, goes inside to the gas station.
Running or with the keys in it, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Leaves his car available to be stolen.
Right.
Goes into the gas station.
Right.
Some dude steals the car.
Right.
And the guy that was in the gas station runs out and shoots that guy.
Shoots the guy.
Okay,
now,
so this is very different than kind of the headlines were making it seem.
Well, the headlines, and this is where all this comes from. The headlines were, there was one headline on Wish TV that person who shot carjacker charged with murder. And apparently this person who did the shooting is charged with murder. Yeah. And my first reaction to that was, well, it's not a carjacking.
Well, my first reaction when I would see the headline without getting the details of it would be, well, that's BS. Wait a minute. This person was getting carjacked and they killed him. And now he's put in, he's been put in jail?
Well, let's talk about that.
You know what I mean?
What is a carjacking? A carjacking is if I'm in my car, somebody comes up to me, threatens me with violence, threatens me with force, and takes my my car from me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a carjacking. That did not happen here.
That's kind of like just by reading the headline. That's why you always got to read the details.
Right. And so, and by the way, our news department here reported that it was a carjacking, and I gently called our news department and said, "Hey guys, just so you know, this is not a carjacking. This is just an auto theft," and it's a huge distinction, and it's a very important distinction. And by the way, our newsroom, not to fault them, they were just saying our news reporting partners at Wish TV are reporting it this way, and so they repeated it the same way. So I'm not being critical of our guys, but it's a critical distinction because Indiana law allows you to use reasonable force up to and including deadly force to prevent the commission of a forcible felony. Forcible felony. That's a felony committed through the use or threat of force. If I'm sitting in my car, dude walks up to my car with a tire iron, says, "Get out of the car, I'm taking your car." What's that? That's carjacking, which is just a subset of robbery in Indiana, which is a forcible felony. And I'm totally justified in using deadly force. However, if I'm out of my car and I'm in the gas station and some dude just hops in my car to steal it, that's a felony because he's stealing my car, but it's not a forcible felony, and I'm not allowed to use deadly force.
Hold on, let me throw a little wrinkle in there.
Yep.
Because I know the details get a little iffy here that you're going to describe to us, but what if there was a kid in the back seat?
Now, okay, very important. That's a fabulous question because what Indiana law also allows me to do, it allows me to use reasonable force up to and including deadly force to prevent an illegal entry into or attack on my occupied motor vehicle. Occupied motor vehicle. So you go to your point, if I'm in a gas station, and not that I'd ever leave my car running or
with an infant in back or something.
But let's say
that.
I've got grandkids, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've got grandkids in the back seat. And most of my grandkids could have taken this, dude. but
the Relford kids.
Oh yeah, well definitely.
Wrong car to try to steal.
Hey, my 19-year-old granddaughter Sydney. Don't mess with Sid.
Right on.
I mean, Sid would have taken this dude out. But if I got my grandkids in the back seat, directly to your question, Nigel, dude hops in, tries to steal the car. Now I'm defending my occupied motor vehicle. That guy's getting shot a lot. Okay, but the point here is
that's not what happened in this case.
That's not what happened here. And so since then, this has been a complete cluster in a sense of the people have gone out and tried to describe what the law is in Indiana in this area, because you've got Wish TV and others calling it a carjacking, which it was not. It was just a simple car theft. It's auto theft. It's a felony, yes, but it's not a violent felony. It's not a forcible felony. And then what really made things hit the fan is WTHR, your favorite TV station, Jason. Yeah, WTHR did put out an article Saturday that said, where they interviewed a local attorney, a gentleman named Mario Massalamani, and he's a high-profile guy. He's big in politics in Hamilton County and otherwise, and they did an interview with him. And the interview, and I've since been sent, since this turned into a big social media controversy, I've since been sent the unedited tape of that interview, but at one point, he's quoted in the WTHR article as saying, "The only time you can use deadly force in Indiana is when you're in your house." And I mean, it's an unequivocal statement. That's how he's quoted. And so I had people sending me that going, "Hey, guy, I spent $50 to come take your Essentials of Indiana gun law class, and you described when you can use deadly force in Indiana, and you sure as hell didn't tell us you could only use it when you're in your house. So who's right, you or this Mario guy on the internet, or on WTHR, because you told us something completely different than that."
That guy makes an erroneous statement, and people are pissed at you.
People are questioning me and saying you must not know the law as well as you think you do, because here's a very prominent guy.
He's wrong, and he's so wrong that it gets people pissed off at Guy Relford.
Yeah, and so I went out pretty aggressively and said, "Hold on, apparently Mario needs to take my Indiana gun law class."
There you go.
Because here's all the different times when you're fully justified in using deadly force in Indiana, including all these different times outside your home. It's true, we have a castle doctrine where I can defend my home against an unlawful entry or attack with deadly force, but like I said, a carjacking. Somebody walks up and puts a gun in my face on the street and demands my watch and my wallet. And that's a forcible felony. That's robbery. Can I defend myself? That my client, Eli Dickin, who saved who knows how many lives in the Greenwood Park Mall. He wasn't in his home, but he still justifiably used deadly force against a guy who was committing a mass shooting.
Right.
And so I went out and said, hold on. Apparently this gentleman doesn't know the law quite as well as he should. And I corrected that. Then, of course, people came back and said, no, the interview at WTHR was deceptively edited and it wasn't his fault. And people jumped on me because
you don't
I was criticizing
say that would happen over there?
No.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, exactly.
This is my shocked face.
Exactly. So my apologies, by the way, to this gentleman if he was just deceptively quoted or inaccurately edited. And I do apologize for that.
It happened at WTHR.
But
that would go on.
Based on the
Weird.
WTHR article, a whole bunch of people got a completely wrong attitude, input, a conclusion as to when you can and cannot use deadly force in Indiana. So I went out again on social media and said, look, let me just spell this out. And there are 5 different times you can use deadly force in Indiana, only one of which is limited to being in your home. I laid those all out. I put that out there and said, here's the accurate information so that we all understand where we're starting from.
Now, to summarize here, you cannot shoot at someone stealing your car
as they're driving away.
No,
you can't. Even if it's your car and you've done everything right, and some guy with 75 felonies is driving off with your car, you can't shoot him.
No, because Indiana law is very clear. Part of our self-defense statute says I can use reasonable force to protect my property other than my home. So my car, my wallet, my watch, whatever it might be, my business. And we've talked about that. But my property other than my home, I can use reasonable force, but I cannot use deadly force. So I walk out and some guy's in my car, stealing my car. Can I grab his ass, throw him down, punch him a couple of times, hold him for the cops? Sure. Can I shoot him? No. Can I use deadly force? No. That's very clear. There's no question about that.
So you can punch him in the face and hold him down.
Yes.
Can you shoot him in the leg and hold him down?
No, because anytime there's a gun involved, the Indiana Court of Appeals is very clear on this. Even pointing a loaded gun at someone is considered to be deadly force.
I'm trying so hard to find a workaround to hurt the bad guy here. I'm really trying here.
Well, and to your point, when I went out there, because my initial post on this whole thing was, hey, I teach this in my class. You can't use deadly force merely to protect your property like your car. That's why this guy's getting prosecuted. He's getting prosecuted right now for murder. And it's not murder, it's voluntary manslaughter, and it'll get pled down. But he's being prosecuted for a very serious crime. I just went out and said, hey, if you don't understand the law in this area, you ought to come take my class. So I'm pitching my class, saying you really ought to come take my class because if you shoot somebody for stealing your car, then you're making a mistake. Immediately, I had all the John Rambos out there on the internet coming after me, going, well, if somebody's stealing my car, I'm shooting his ass. I go, awesome, dude. I'm not telling you what to do. Just keep my card handy,
right?
Because you're going to need me.
Nige, there are times where the law sometimes doesn't seem fair. And we've talked about this story, I think it's from Iowa, where a woman who was sexually assaulted and human trafficked got away, found her captor, found her raper, and shot and murdered him in cold blood. Stabbed him, yeah.
Well, see, this is a point I cover in my class, which is self-defense statutes are always written around preventing a crime or preventing injury, preventing in the case of Indiana, a serious bodily injury to you or a third person, or preventing the commission of a forcible felony. It's all about preventing, right? It's all about defending. When you make the transition from defending or protecting to payback, now you're committing a crime. Because the law doesn't allow it. Makes a great movie. When Jodie Foster's killing the bad guys, or hey, we're all rooting for her. It feels great. Mel Gibson, it's a movie called Payback. It's a fabulous movie.
That's right.
And it's a great movie. It feels good, but it's not legal. Payback is a crime. Defending, protecting against serious bodily injury, defending against a forcible felony. That's what's legal. Payback's not legal. As good as it sounds, as good as it feels, it's not legal in Indiana and most places.
Did you get to the part where the stolen vehicle was also stolen? Did you?
Well, that's that. So yeah,
there's more.
The guy
so initially, so the guy's already in trouble, right? Because he killed a dude just stealing what we thought was his car. And so he was being charged with murder before any additional details came out. Then more details came out. It turns out the car he was driving had already been reported stolen. And
good Lord.
The dude who did the shooting is a convicted felon who cannot legally possess a gun.
Oh,
there you go.
Well, there's a lot going on here, Guy.
Boy.
Well, there is. I got to tell you, my overwhelming
fascinating.
reaction is, I'm sorry for all the confusion on Indiana law created by WTHR and others. But I'm also a little disappointed my phone didn't ring because I'm the boy for this case, man.
Guy Relford, Monday Gun Day here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Want to get your thoughts on that horrific shooting that took place in Colorado at the gay nightclub. Turns out, in the midst of all the horror and 5 people losing their lives, 25 plus others injured, there were some heroic acts taking place inside that club.
Unbelievable. And I didn't know this until Nigel sent me the article, but apparently a patron in there actually took the handgun away from this dude, hit him with it, right? Pistol whipped the dude
subdued him
with his own gun, and then held him for police. And so, my God, there's another hero who saved who knows how many lives. So absolutely. But, we've seen this before. We've seen it right here in Indy. Because, what happened is this guy had run into police before. He'd been violent before.
Right.
He was known to police, and there were red flag laws that could have been enacted.
And they have a red flag law, quote unquote, out in Colorado.
He threatened his own mother with a bomb at one point in the past.
And got reported to authorities for exactly that reason. And did they avail themselves of the red flag law out there in Colorado? No, they did not. And this happened. What does that sound like to you?
Sounds awful familiar,
Very familiar
to here in Marion County, where a red flag law was ignored and a crazy lunatic was allowed to move forward and do heinous things.
Colorado LGBTQ club shooting. Suspect used a legally purchased assault-style rifle.
Yeah.
And then, fast forward it, and not even a day later, Joe Biden's called for the banning of assault weapons.
Right.
And that didn't surprise you.
And so what we want to do, right, according to the Democratic agenda, or the gun control agenda, is pass another law when there were all these laws in place already that could have prevented this shooting that authorities didn't use.
And crazy bastards don't pay attention to the law. Shooting people to death in a nightclub is illegal. You can't do that, but yet here we are.
It is. And and how much does this sound like the shooting in Orlando at the Pulse nightclub, right? Another gay nightclub where these people were clearly targeted simply because of their sexual orientation. Guy went in there who was known to authorities, had already been reported to the FBI. Remember all of that? I mean, we've seen this play out before. The issue is not more laws, guys, and you know this. The issue is enforcing the laws we have, and for law enforcement to get off its ass and do its job. Quit coming after me, the law-abiding citizen, who's right out there in public. Everybody knows what I'm doing. Everybody knows, what guns I own and what I don't. Go after these people that are known to you, that are known threats to society. Do your job before you start going out and promoting more laws. That's what's offensive to me.
Where can people get more information?
RelfordLaw.com is the best way to get a hold of me. RelfordLaw.com.
Guy, thank you.
Always a pleasure, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, we're pretty social people at WIBC. You can find us all over social media. See what we're up to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're never more than just away. Just search for 93 WIBC.
The Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration.
The Alice orthogonal technique is really what saved my life. I had Graves' disease and was having a lot of difficulties with it. I went and had an Atlas orthogonist adjust my neck, and within 3 months, all my health problems were actually gone. The basis and the cornerstone of my practice is the Atlas orthogonal technique. But getting that corrected is absolutely essential for me to make the other postural changes, and really to make any types of changes in the rest of the system to help the body to work correctly. That's the beginning of where you need to start. Matter of fact, I consider that probably the most important thing that you can do to have the biggest impact on your health is to actually have your Atlas put back into proper position, and should be checked at least once a year.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather, Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad.
It is that bad. Don't settle. Switch to Xfinity and get one line of unlimited mobile and home internet together for $50 a month for 12 months. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New Connect Internet customers only on one-year contract. Internet included for 12 months. New Xfinity mobile account required. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Xfinity post-pay internet required for Xfinity mobile. Additional devices extra. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of data usage. Offer ends 12/21/22.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here, and the holidays are around the corner, which means tons of food, lots of family, and guests in your home, and clogged drains. Don't let your backed up pipes ruin the holiday spirit. Call my friends at Hope Plumbing, and they'll make sure to keep everything flowing. Visit hopeplumbing.com for a $49 mainline cleaning and an $89 small drain cleaning. So the next time you need a plumber, let Hope Plumbing take care of the dirty work so you can get back to your holiday fun.
Pierce Jewelers has a spectacular array of diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond rings, and diamond bracelets. They shop the world to bring you the very best. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Remember to sleep in Friday morning because the sleep in sale starts Friday at 10 a.m. at Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan.
Hey, we're pretty social people at WIBC. You can find us all over social media. See what we're up to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're never more than just away. Just search for 93 WIBC.
Matt Bear, we still got chaos going on out there?
Yeah, it's still bad. A little bit better, though. The delays are still huge. Looking at the south side, westbound 465 stopped in parts. From Emerson Avenue over to Man Road, that's because of an earlier crash and closure. The interstate has reopened with the right lane blocked. East side, northbound 465 stopped after 70 up to East 56th Street because of a crash that is cleared. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware. Remember to sleep in Friday morning, cause the sleep in sale starts Friday at 10 a.m. at Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I like this temperature a lot better than what we had last week. It's 50 degrees at the American Standard Heating Weather Center here at the Hammer and Nigel
It's like
show.
Spring.
I know, right? 50 degrees now feels like it's like 80 compared to the bitter cold and wind that we've had last week.
Saturday night, I was up in Castleton. Don't ever go to Castleton during the holidays on a Saturday night at like 7 o'clock. I would highly recommend against that. But it was all of a sudden wind and flurries and snow, and the car was shaking back and forth. It was a nightmare. It was crazy here Saturday night.
Indiana weatherman, I'm telling you, like the Notre Dame football game on Saturday, at the start of the third quarter, there was still a little bit of sun coming down. You could see the field.
Yep.
It was cold. It was crisp, but it was okay. By the end of the third quarter, it looked like the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Snow had fallen. You couldn't see the lines on the field anymore. That happened in one quarter up at South Bend. If you need something to make you feel old, not that any of us need any extra tips in that category.
Every time I look in the mirror.
When I wake up in the morning and everything pops. It was on this date 30 years ago, 3-0. Adam Sandler did the Thanksgiving song for the first time on Saturday Night Live.
Wow.
Thanksgiving is a special night. Jimmy Walker used to say dynamite. That's right.
30 years.
Yeah, we're old. Imagine how he feels. Imagine how Adam Sandler feels.
Sandler probably feels great. He sleeps on a big pile of money every single night. I hear that's good for the back when you're sleeping on a big pile of money.
When you're farting through silk in your bed sheets. Yeah, you know you're living the dream. You know you've got a good life.
Coming up after 4 o'clock, the old man, his Twitter account is active, and people are freaking out.
Where were you when you found out that Donald Trump got his Twitter back?
It's like we landed on the moon. Did you hear? Did you hear the news? We'll talk about that when we come back.
There's only one you, and you only have one heart. That's why Franciscan Health is here with the highest level of heart care that's personal, compassionate, and sensitive to your needs. Known for embracing innovative technology and advancements in care, our nationally recognized heart team is committed to helping you protect the only heart you've got. To schedule your appointment with a heart care expert or to get a second opinion, visit franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
I am a Window Nation customer. I have energy-efficient Window Nation windows installed in my house. Have for a couple of years now. They look great. They add value to my home, and they save me money on energy bills. Right now, Window Nation is a great way to help you stay warm and comfortable with incredible savings. 2 free windows with every 2 you buy is the deal.
I've been told this deal is close to going away. So if you've been thinking about getting new windows, now is the time to act, because you're going to kick yourself if you miss out on saving thousands of dollars here. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. Any style, and there's no limit. And you don't pay anything. No down payments, no interest, nothing until 2025. You will save thousands of dollars with this deal, but you have to call and lock it in. 866-90-NATION. At least make the call and get some information. 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com, but you have to say, Hammer and Nigel sent me.
Did you know that you need to winterize your roof? Let Moss Roofing be your first call. MossRoofing.com. Call Moss Roofing before winter hits. Damaged siding can create one big winter project that you do not want to deal with, especially in that frigid cold. Moss Roofing can inspect, repair, or replace damaged siding. They can also recommend downspout extensions or top-notch gutter guards if they see any red flags during the inspection. Let's talk insulation. Investing in and reinforcing your home's insulation with Moss Roofing can reduce your energy bills and keep you warmer this winter. Whether you need to install new insulation or replace your existing insulation, you can always turn to Moss Roofing. Moss Roofing will find the solution that works best for you and your budget. The expert inspectors from Moss Roofing can identify your unique needs. Whether you need winter-ready insulation, gutters, repairs, or a replacement, the Moss Roofing team will come up with a custom winterizing plan for you. Visit mossroofing.com to get your winter prep started today.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
It's almost here. Our absolute biggest sale of the year. Bell Tire's Black Friday sale. Starting online Wednesday evening. Beginning in-store with extended hours Friday, Saturday, and Monday only. If you need new tires, this is the time to get them. Every tire, all brands. You miss this, you will miss out. Buy online Wednesday or in-store Friday, Saturday, and Monday only. Sale ends November 28th. You're going to get the lowest tire price, period, at Bell Tire. See store belltire.com for details. Restrictions apply.
Hammer and Nigel here for one of those fantastic local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealers here in Indy.
How about Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling in Franklin? You can make a difference. Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in Johnson County, cordially inviting customers and the community to join them to a big donating event for the Good Cheer Fund of Johnson County. Marshall is going to donate $10 for every service call through December 12th. The Marshall team will also be collecting monetary and canned food donations and assisting with stuffing and delivery baskets. Really cool thing that they've got going on. Support your neighbors in need with good cheer. Schedule your next service appointment at callthemarshallnow.com. That's callthemarshallnow.com. Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling in Franklin, your trusted American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in Johnson County. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
When you're high, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Coming up in 2 minutes, what's in your forecast this week after a handful of cold days in Indiana? John Herrick reports on why an off-duty officer is in some trouble, and who else plans to run for mayor of Indianapolis. All that and more after Fox News Radio from the Shepherd Community Center studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Did he do it on purpose? On Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's a question with no answer yet in Massachusetts, where an SUV crashed through the window of an Apple store in an outside mall this morning, southeast of Boston.
This morning was an unthinkable morning, and people are trying to get through it and process what happened. This investigation is active and ongoing.
Plymouth County District Attorney Timothy Cruz says it's a criminal investigation. One person was killed, 16 injured, some of them needing surgery. The White House says a rail strike is unacceptable after a split vote today by the country's two largest rail unions on the tentative contract agreement reached in September.
Members of the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen joined 7 other unions in ratifying the deal, while the sheet metal, air, rail, and transportation workers voted to reject it. The deal includes a 24% wage increase over 5 years with 5 yearly $1,000 bonuses. There has been criticism, though, about the contract's sick leave, attendance policies, and lack of paid sick days.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz, all 12 rail unions would have to approve a deal to avoid a strike that could cost the U.S. economy $2 billion a day, disrupting supply chains again. President Biden telling reporters earlier today there would be discussions on averting a strike, but a White House official says the best option is for the parties to resolve this themselves. Jay Leno is out of the hospital. Staff at the Grossman Burn Center in California confirming it with a post of a smiling Leno standing alongside them. The former Tonight Show host suffered serious burns in a garage fire while working on one of his vintage cars more than a week ago. Doctors say they're optimistic he'll make a full recovery after surgery to remove unhealthy tissue. On Wall Street, the Dow down 44 points at the closing bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What's in your forecast this week? 50 degrees and sunny in downtown Indianapolis. All clear on the radar. Low of 26 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Last weekend it was cold, but this week
we're going to see a warming trend for much of this week, and also a lot of dry weather as the week progresses.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service. It's going to be around 50 degrees for most of the week. IMPD Sergeant Peter Feckus is on administrative leave. The department says he's been summoned to an Ohio court on allegations of driving drunk. Sergeant Feckus told his supervisor about those allegations before he was placed on leave, says IMPD. Accused of drunk driving and trying to leave the scene of a crash in Indianapolis is an off-duty reserve officer. John Herrick has more.
Police say it happened at West Southport Road and State Road 37 just before 1:30 Sunday morning when the off-duty officer with the Steinsville Police Department crashed his patrol car into another car and eventually hit a construction barrier. He tried to run away but was later caught and put in handcuffs. Now he's facing multiple preliminary charges. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You may have another choice for mayor of Indianapolis. Pastor James Jackson of the Fervent Prayer Church tells Indy Politics he's running because he wants to transform the city into the best one in America. Jackson is running as a Republican with State Representative Robin Shackelford running as a Democrat. Current Mayor Joe Hogsett is running for re-election. He's seeking a third term. Indiana's gas tax is going up next month. Jaden Arnold reports on what it means for you.
The December gas use tax calculation released by the Indiana Department of Revenue says that the fuel tax is now greater than it was before 2022. With the average retail price of gas maintaining at $3.33, in December, Hoosiers will pay roughly $4.07 at the pump, but it may get better. According to Gas Buddy, if demand stays low, we may see a national average of $2.99 around Christmas. Jaden Arnold, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Women's College Basketball Final Four is coming to the capital city in 6 years, announced the NCAA Monday. Indianapolis will host the semifinals and championship in 2028. It'll be the fourth time Indy's hosted the event. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Do you plan on living on a more liberating budget than Social Security is going to provide when you retire? Do you know how to make Social Security work best for you with your other investments?
Singer Financial is a strategic wealth management and financial planning partner that helps aspiring retirees plan, dream, and get that life that they want in retirement. Singer Financial specializes in strategizing and equipping you to bring you the visions for retirement to life. Singer Financial can help you make the next chapter of your life whatever you want it to be. Go to singerfinancialgroup.com or call 317-852-9153. That's 852-9153 and learn how the Singer Financial Group helps people just like you pursue your vision of the good life in retirement.
Investment advisory services offered through registered investment advisors Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, and AE Wealth Management, LLC. Working with Singer Financial cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Baer.
Southside crash cleanup continues westbound 465 at Man Road. Right lane block traffic stop to stop and go back to I-65. Rerouting on northbound 65 on the south side after Keystone Avenue up to the south split. And on the northeast side, northbound 465 crash clear at Fall Creek, still slow back to Penn Pike. Traffic sponsored by Lowe's. Where do Black Friday deals come with happy holiday feels? Lowe's, actually. Black Friday is happening now. Don't miss out on all of the deals on the top brands at Lowe's. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Colder air sinks in force once again tonight. Temperatures falling down into the 20s in the overnight hours. Sunshine, dry conditions as high pressure remains in control for your Tuesday. Expect high temperatures in the low 50s. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is there. Where were you Saturday night? What were you doing when you first heard the news that Donald Trump was back on Twitter?
The old man is back.
I'm back! Although he hasn't tweeted. But he was allowed back after a, it was a very scientific poll Elon Musk conducted on the Twitter platform.
So a Twitter poll said that the users would like to see Donald Trump back.
Millions and millions of people did this poll.
At one point,
Very
they were
scientific.
getting 1 million votes per hour
crazy.
on this poll, according to Elon Musk. Now, before the decision was final and the poll was going on, Donald Trump was asked about this. He was speaking at some event remotely. He was on a Zoom or something, but he was asked about the Twitter poll of coming back to social media's Twitter.
Well, I like that he bought it. I've always liked him. I got along with him very well during my days as president, and I got to know him pretty well. But I do like him. I've always really, he's a character, and I tend to like characters, but he's smart. He did put up a poll, and I hear it's very overwhelming, very strong. But I have something called Trump. If you look, it's Trump-owned, but it's really fantastic. Truth Social, and Truth Social is through the roof. It's doing phenomenally well. The press hates to talk about it, but it's doing phenomenally well. I think engagement is much better than it is with Twitter. Truth Social has been very, very powerful, very, very strong. And I'll be staying there, but I hear we're getting a big vote to also go back on Twitter. I don't see it because I don't see any reason for it.
So, but he got it. He's back on. I'm looking at it right now. I don't think it'd be very smart for him in terms of like his shareholders. They'd be very upset if he tweeted on a different platform.
Right?
The Truth Social shareholders would be like, hey, what are you doing? Although on the Elon Musk side, genius business move. Because I feel like once Donald Trump, gives into temptation, that might be the end of his competition. Who knows? But I'm sitting here looking at Donald Trump's Twitter account right now, Hammer. Last time he tweeted was January 8th, 2021. To all those who have asked, I will not be going to the inauguration January 20th. That was his last tweet. A few days before that, January 6th, I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol remain peaceful. No violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. So those were like his sort of last two tweets from the account, and then it got suspended. Can you tell me? Can you look at anything? Did I say anything that was controversial at all?
Well, the January 6th committee, they're going to bend over backwards to tell you that there are all types of different tweets that could be used in different directions. But
literally the last three tweets were of him saying, stay peaceful, support our Capitol Police, go home, remain peaceful, no violence. And then a few days later, Twitter takes him off the platform.
Right. Now, Trump is saying that he's not going to come back, but I'm telling you, he sees 84 million people on that account. And if you're running for president, you're going to want to reach as many people as possible. And even Don Jr. is egging the old man to come back to Twitter.
Really?
Like, if you look at some of the posts Don Jr.'s put out there, he's sharing the memes that Elon Musk is posting, talking about the temptation.
Yeah, the temptation meme, where it's this drawing, this portrait of a Christ-like figure with the backdrop of a woman bent over in the background, and above her backside is the Twitter logo.
Right.
And the guy, the figure is Trump. And, it's the temptation's got to be there for the old man.
And Don Jr.'s here for it. He wants him to get back onto Twitter. But some of the folks not really on board with this.
Oh,
now, we mentioned the January 6th committee. Adam Kinzinger, this little weenie, this was his reaction when he found out that Donald Trump's account had been activated. Oh, come on.
I thought we really had it.
Come on. This is actually Adam Kinzinger.
Well, look, I mean, I get that people are on all sides of this debate. The fact that he did it with a poll of which, however many % of those could have been bots that aren't real people voting in that. Secondarily, I don't know if, that decision should be made by some poll.
Why not?
It's his company. It's his
Musk's
business.
Company.
And let's talk about the bots for a second, because I think this was actually kind of a genius move by Elon Musk. So he knows that a lot of the bots are going to come out because it's Trump and it's a poll and it's Twitter. It sounds like he purged all of the bots that voted in that poll. And somebody asked him about it, and he just responded with like the smiley face emoji. So I think it was actually a pretty savvy move. He knew he was bringing him back anyway, but he was doing a little fishing for some of the fake troll accounts. CBS News, once they found out that Donald Trump was coming back and some of the other things that are happening with Twitter, they got on their moral high horse and announced that they were taking a break.
And Musk has called for an emergency meeting for all remaining engineers. In light of the uncertainty around Twitter and out of an abundance of caution, CBS News is pausing its activity on the social media site as it continues to monitor the platform, Major.
Jonathan Vigliotti, thank you.
Are these people serious? Are these serious people you're dealing with at CBS News? The home of 60 Minutes? Leslie Stahl looking right at President Trump. The Hunter Biden laptop's not real. There's no evidence. Blah, 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 blah.
Nora O'Donnell telling you the protests were mostly peaceful, but it caused $2 billion worth of damage. So that's CBS getting completely full of themselves.
And they're back, by the way.
Right. That lasted, 24 hours? Maybe. Their hiatus from Twitter, they're back. But when they did this announcement, Elon Musk put out 2 tweets in response to CBS. Number 1, who made this decision? And then he tweeted, oh, forget it, who cares? And you're right, they're already back.
Speaking about CBS coming back to Twitter. Yeah. Which, again, CBS, they got this big report out right now, this big expose on Hunter Biden's laptop. I'm like, welcome to the party, Bal. They the New York Times had this a year ago, and now you're a little late to the party. You're playing catch up here. And I realize, again, Leslie Stahl, 60 Minutes, looked Donald Trump in the face and said, you don't have any proof that laptop is real. It is real. It is real, Leslie.
If you believe it.
If you're George Costanza, you believe it, it's real.
Here is Russian collusion hoax expert Adam Schiff.
I think it's a terrible mistake, and you're absolutely right. As we showed in the January 6th hearings, the president used that platform to incite that attack on the Capitol. His comments about the vice president, his own vice president, put Mike Pence's life in danger. He showed no remorse about that. He continues to lie about his actions on that day. He talks about pardoning the people who attacked police officers and attacked the Capitol that day. And it contradicts what Elon Musk said, that he was going to establish a council to evaluate this, and further contradicts Musk and his claimed concern about bots on his own platform, to subject the decision to a poll on the platform that could be easily abused that way. It just underscores the erratic leadership of Twitter now under Musk, but also the security concerns with security people fleeing Twitter. and what that means for the protection of Americans'
whatever.
private data.
One of the last tweets from Donald Trump. Again, quote, "I'm asking for everyone at the Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence. We are the party of law and order."
Donald Trump, your thoughts on Adam Schiff?
Little pencil neck Adam Schiff. Got the smallest, thinnest neck I've ever seen.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's another celebrity that's grandstanding, and he wants everybody to know that he's done with Twitter as well, Nige. Tell me about Trent Reznor.
Oh, 9 Inch Nails guy?
Nails.
Yeah. He said the fact that Elon Musk owns Twitter now is an embarrassment, and for his mental health, he is leaving the platform. This is the lead singer of one of the heavy rock bands of all time, 9 Inch Nails. I need to leave Twitter for my mental health.
Now, this is the same dude who's a complete never-Trumper. Like, you go back and look at some of the things that he said about Donald Trump, called him an effing moron, and...
Well, never-Trumper are Republicans that would never vote for Donald Trump. I don't think he's ever been a Republican. I don't think... but yes, obviously, he does not like Donald Trump, does not like his supporters, and he has a long history of that, for sure.
But I mean,
For
yes,
sure.
he's clearly a lefty, but you could put up a bag of sand against Donald Trump, and he's going to vote for the bag of sand because anybody but Trump. That's what I mean by never Trumper. So here's what we're going to do. Since he's so anti-Donald Trump, we're going to put one of his hit songs with Donald Trump's audio together just to see if we can tick him off a little bit.
Help me get away from myself. I wanna frack.
It's a song about fracking all of a sudden.
And by the way, Elon Musk responded to Trent Reznor, called him a crybaby on Twitter.
Good for him. Good for him. Like, is anybody saying, you know what, I was going to stay, but Trent Reznor's leaving, and he was really popular in 1995, so I guess I better follow suit.
There it is.
It has been a wild, week for Twitter employees. They got locked out. Donald Trump came back. It's a good thing that we have the Human Resources phone number here at the Hammer and Nigel show.
Really?
We called the Twitter Human Resources.
Thanks for calling the Twitter employment line. Press 1 if you just got fired. Press 2 if you're thinking about quitting. Press 3 if you just resigned. Press 4 if you want to.
Hold it. This is Elon Musk's personal phone assistant. He is now firing the Twitter employment line.
Oh.
Good luck. Now get out.
There it is. The HR number at Twitter. We pulled some strings.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Matt Bear, what's going on?
Looking at westbound 465 south side, still stop and go traffic from 65 over to Man Road because of a crash that has now cleared. Same on the east side, northbound 465 slows Penn Pike up to 71st because of an earlier crash that is gone. And then southbound 465 east side, slow roll from Washington down to Arlington Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. 999-9000. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I think I'm going to go check the Pacers out tonight, man.
Oh, really?
Like, if you're angry about the Colts, check out the Pacers because they've won 4 in a row.
That over-under for their total wins for the season looks like it's going to be way over, doesn't it?
I hope so.
Like, it was 23.5 before the season started. That was the over-under wins. They're an exciting team to watch.
Pacers right now are 4th in the Eastern Conference. So these young kids, man, the rookie Matherin, Halliburton, they're playing some ball. And tickets are really cheap. So I'm going to go check out the Pacers tonight and see if they can win 5 in a row. Should be a beautiful night. Right now it's 50 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for just $40 per month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. Plus, Ask how to get a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 1/1/2023. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Compare pricing of top carriers. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Comcast Business Internet required. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep services for 12 months for discount. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Christmas can sometimes be difficult to manage. It brings back memories. Some are great and some are painful. I lost my dad 11 years ago, and every Christmas I think of him. And if I got to talk to him today, this is what I think he would say. Hi, sweetie. I loved calling you that when I was with you. I've seen you pull up that voice message I left you all those years ago when I called you that. I love knowing that it blessed you too, and I miss being able to sit and talk with you. I wish I could tell you how proud I am of you.
We don't often talk about grief during the Christmas season, and yet Christmas can bring up memories that evoke pain and heartache because of the loss of a loved one. Hi, this is Pastor Micah Beckwith, and our Blue Christmas experience at Life Church is designed to give you a space to remember, to ponder, and to feel. Come to one of our Blue Christmas experiences and find a new freedom and joy during the holidays. Go to lcbluechristmas.com for times and locations.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Divorce touches all areas of your life. Family, friends, career, retirement. Few things in life affect so much. At Cordell & Cordell, we have a lot of experience protecting these interests for clients across America. In the process, we've come to know our clients pretty well. If you're a guy facing divorce, your chief concern, if you have kids, is to preserve your role in their lives. As to assets, you probably prefer tax-deferred savings over cash, and you likely would rather give up an asset than to pay maintenance. Also, lest you think we didn't notice, you want to pay as little to divorce lawyers as possible. Look, Cordell & Cordell can be successful only if our clients walk away feeling good about us. That means they feel not only that the result was the best possible in the circumstances, but also that their attorney fees were both reasonable and affordable. If this seems right to you, then let us be the partner that you count on.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything? On 93 WIBC.
Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
I'm going to run some stories by you. You will break these stories down. You'll weigh out the pros and the cons, and you're going to tell us if it's anything or not.
Fair enough.
Is this anything? A video is going viral of a Dollar Tree manager offering to hire a complaining customer right there on the spot. Now, he doesn't end up taking the job, but apparently the store is very short-staffed. Here is their back and forth.
Yeah, we need another register open. The deal to close the sale. Are you planning to hire? I'll hire you on the spot. Get behind the register. Can you ring? Can you ring? Look, I'm offering you a job. I need the help. I'm not people right now. I'm sorry. I'm hiring.
I love it. Shut up, dude. I love this manager saying, look, I'm understaffed. I'll hire you on the spot. Can you ring? Is that some sort of cashier speak?
Right.
Terminology. Can you ring, bro? Can you ring, bro?
That's how they speak in the cashier community, yes.
I mean, shut up, first of all, if you're a customer. Loudmouth. Yeah, look, man, what do you want me to do? There's nobody working here. I'm the only one here. You want to put on an apron or whatever cashiers wear.
The cashier apron.
Don't cashiers wear aprons? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe not at the Dollar Tree.
I don't see too many cashiers wearing the apron. Maybe I'm going to the wrong places.
God. But yeah, shut your mouth and start ringing, bro. I love the way they were talking to each other. Or I love the way the manager handled that situation.
Kylan is our producer today, filling in. Now, jump on the mic with us here. Have you ever been to a store where the cashier is wearing an apron?
I'm sorry, Nigel, I'll back you up because I have been a customer. No, I'm sorry. I've been a cashier before and I've worn an apron.
You have?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you say where?
I worked at JC, which is a Kroger branch down south.
Okay.
So I did wear an apron for a short period of time.
Did you work in the deli, though, or did you work in the cashier?
No, I was ringing as a cashier.
Okay. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Kylan's saying I'm right, so I'll take it.
Maybe that needs to be Elon Musk's next big Twitter poll. Cashiers and aprons. Yes? No. See if he can get 1 million votes in an hour.
I hate that those poor people that work in these places that are severely understaffed and overrun by customers have to deal with that kind of crap.
Right.
I hate that.
It'd be one thing if you were getting incompetent service, right? And then you could complain to the manager.
Yeah, maybe.
But if you're complaining about the line and how long it takes to check out and there's one dude working, what do you want him to do?
Yeah.
There's nobody that wants to work right now. Is this anything? Students out of Ohio called 911 from a school bus and accused their driver of abuse.
Ooh.
But it turns out she never did anything to him. Here is the sergeant talking about what he believes actually happened after they looked at the video footage of the incident.
Yeah, they're just being unruly on the bus, so she pulls over to kind of address that, but they're not wanting to listen to her. We got called from a few students on the bus who were claiming there was an assault by the bus driver. We were able to review the video of the driver in the bus and saw that no students were assaulted, nobody was pushed, nobody was hit with a broom or any of the allegations that were made by the students.
Kids immediately need to be kicked off the bus for the rest of the year. No question, little turds.
Parents are going to have to figure out another way because their kids are rotten to the core.
Exactly. So, first of all, that is completely unacceptable. Unacceptable. You put that bus driver through that kind of crap. You call 911. You have to deal with the police. You have to wait around for the security footage from the bus. It had to be stressful. And all because of the, quote, unruly students on the bus. Now, back in the day, man, my bus driver was a hard ass. I didn't want him to get out of line. I didn't want to mess with him. He had a big metal wooden paddle.
Oh.
And I think I told the story. He'd slam it on the tin above the window.
He pulled it out of his apron that he was using to drive the bus.
Yep.
But that's a different time back then where you could take the paddle out, go to work.
Yeah, he had holes in the thing. He'd slam it against the top of the bus. It would make a loud sound because it was hitting that metal on top of the bus windshield. And I witnessed a beating. I witnessed a spanking. And nothing was ever done after that. That kid never got out of line again.
Scared straight, baby.
Yep.
Scared straight. So here's what I think should happen to these kids. All right, parents, your kids clearly can't control themselves. So driving them to school every day moving forward, Paul Pelosi. Let's see if they get there. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Join us on Monument Circle for Downtown Indy Inc.'s 60th Annual Circle of Lights, presented by IBEW Local 481 on Monument Circle Friday, November 25th from 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy this free, time-honored holiday tradition in downtown Indianapolis with enhanced lighting and video elements, outstanding live entertainment, a festive beer and whiskey garden, and, of course, Santa. Go to downtownindy.org/holidays to learn more. Cheers and happy holidays.
Okay, good news. Diamonds Direct is celebrating the holiday season, and they're extending their special 20% savings offer through this weekend only. So you have a few more days to take advantage of the best prices of the season, an extra 20% off store-wide. Are you kidding me? Start your holiday shopping now and save more.
This is the time of year where guys are getting ready to pop the question over the holidays. Got to get that ring ready, and you don't want to miss this special extension of Diamonds Direct's biggest and final store-wide sale of the year. through this weekend only. So if you're thinking about popping the question or you're looking for that amazing gift for the holidays, this is the sale. Save an extra 20% on a multi-million-dollar inventory of fine jewelry. And you can also get special financing too. DiamondsDirect.com or stop by Keystone at the Crossing. Diamonds Direct. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Warming up for now. 50 degrees and sunny in downtown Indianapolis. Nothing on your radar. Low of 26 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:30. Even though it's going to get cold again in December, weather will get warmer this week.
And on Tuesday, we'll see another dry and sunny day and highs in the lower 50s. And by Wednesday, we get into the mid-50s, again with more dry weather.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there's no chance for rain until Thanksgiving Day, but even then, it's not expected to be anything substantial. Avon High School was on lockdown after what school administrators are calling a situation happened during the last passing period of the day. School principal Matt Shockley told Wish TV that all students and staff are safe and accounted for. There were also no guns or knives involved. Shelling in Ukraine is getting close to the safety systems of a massive nuclear plant. Fox's Greg Palcott reports.
Problems in Ukraine on a couple of power fronts. The Zaporizhia nuclear plant in the southern part of the country was rocked by 12 explosions over the weekend. The UN's IAEA said that came close to a significant nuclear incident. Ukraine and Russia each blame the other. In Kyiv, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
One person is dead, at least 16 people hurt after an SUV smashed into an Apple store in Massachusetts.
This morning was an unthinkable morning, and people are trying to get through it and process what happened.
Plymouth County DA Timothy Cruz, the wreck happened in a town south of Boston. The driver has been detained, but there have been no reports on if he had any intentions. Their opening match was a draw. The U.S. men's national team scored one goal and allowed another against Wales today. Group play continues Friday when the U.S. plays England. With your stock report, the Dow was down 45 points to 33,700. The NASDAQ also down 121, closing at 11,024. And the S&P 500 fell 15 points to 3,949. With traffic at 432, here's Matt Baer.
All right, stall on the ramp from westbound 72 Holt Road, and that stall just cleared a couple of seconds ago. We still have stop-and-go traffic back to Meridian, Illinois downtown. Northbound 65, stop-and-go before Raymond, up to the south split. East side, northbound 465 slows at East 56, and on the south side, westbound 465, stop-and-go 65, over to Harding Street. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware. Remember to sleep in Friday morning, because the sleep-in sale starts Friday at 10 a.m. at Sullivan Hardware and Garden in Allisonville, Home and Garden by Sullivan. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Colder air sinks in force once again tonight. Temperatures falling down into the 20s in the overnight hours. Sunshine, dry conditions as high pressure remains in control for your Tuesday. Expect high temperatures in the low 50s. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Can you believe these animals? What the hell's happening to this country?
On 93 WIBC.
Speaking of 9 Inch Nails.
I see what you did there.
My name is Nigel. Hammer's here. About to go live with Wish TV and Randall Newsom. And we're both supposed to talk about the Colts game, right? And you're going to talk about the game. And I think I'm talking about like a marriage proposal that happened in between quarters. But I think I'm going to try to work in a Fetterman reference. Because they... See, if you're driving home or you got us DVR'd there, DVR the show from 4 to 5 every day on Wish TV.
It's called All Indiana.
All Indiana. And I think I'm going to try to get in The Eagles!
So much better than
The Eagles! So,
Big goofy Fetterman.
I'm going to try to get one of those subtle Fetterman references in there to see if I can fool anybody.
You get that on television, I'll buy you a beer.
Okay.
Deal.
All right, we'll see if we can get it tomorrow.
Again, every day about 4:45, 4:48-ish, whenever we go to commercial break here, we do a TV version of Is This Anything? It's a really short edition, and the challenge is on for Big Nige today. So Joe Biden did the annual tradition of pardoning a turkey before Thanksgiving.
Like right out on the White House lawn, right?
But in another annual tradition, Joe Biden made it really, really, really weird.
I would say that's a daily tradition.
Making things weird. So we're going to play some audio for you. Now, keep in mind, Joe Biden's up there, it's in front of the White House. There's a turkey. There's the guy from the turkey company. And he asks the turkey guy how many turkeys that they've made. And then he makes some sort of nonsensical joke about other countries. He gives us anyway at some point. We get an anyway. And then he tries to interview the turkey live. Take a listen.
How many turkeys you got down there? God love you. 9.5 million turkeys. I tell you what, that's like some of the countries I've been to.
What's that mean?
Anyway, you want to talk?
He puts the microphone in front of the turkey, goes, "You want to talk?" Is that what that was?
And nobody laughs and nobody looks at him. They think this is normal behavior from Joe Biden, which it probably is.
What did that mean? He said 9.5 million turkeys. I've been to some countries. What was he referencing?
I have no idea, Nigel.
Was he actually referencing the population of Turkey?
You're asking me to try to make sense of Joe Biden talking to a turkey. I've got nothing for you right now. I got nothing for this conversation. An old man who lost his fastball a long time ago has got a microphone up to a turkey, and then he's speaking gibberish. I've got no answers. I've got nothing. But this does take us to great moments in, anyway, history with Joe Biden.
The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway.
Great moments in, anyway, history. The vice president, one Kamala Harris, she loves the word significance. Hot damn, she loves the word significance. She loves that word more than she loves school buses. No. She loves that word more than anything else.
School buses.
So she was speaking in Thailand, and I want you to listen to this soundbite here. From Kamala Harris, listen for how many times you hear the word significance or significant.
This is my third trip to the Indo-Pacific region as vice president, and really signifies the significance of the relationship between the United States and our allies and partners in this region. The discussions that we had included, in large part, a discussion about the significance of the climate crisis and what we can do as the United States to be a leader in that regard.
I took 3 drinks. Did I have it wrong, or was it 4?
Quote, this signifies the significance of the U.S. allies. Gee, thanks, Kamala. Which this takes us to great moments in significance speech history from Kamala Harris. And if you didn't drink all your beverage that round,
all right, I got it right here.
Take a sip every time she says the word significance in this separate speech.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children.
Well said, Kamala. Well said. I could not have said that better myself.
I got a tiny buzz from that. My beer here.
I think we're going to need some mood music for this next
right.
story. Hit me with some mood music here. We don't have any mood music? All right, that's fine. We don't need any because the game ended in a tie.
You're talking about the World Cup?
Yes. It's a freaking tie. I hate ties. Ties stink. There we go. USA, Wales, USA was leading for a long time, but then Wales took the lead, and it ended in a tie.
And, okay, so that's a draw. So are they still – so they're in group play, I guess, or whatever?
Right.
And then they play England this Friday. I don't know what time yet. So it's USA-England.
That's coming up next for the Team USA. Now, Qatar, or how do you say it? Is it Qatar or is it Qatar?
I've been hearing both. I just say Qatar. I don't care.
So Qatar is the place where this tournament's taking place, and the FIFA president, the guy that oversees all of the soccer organization,
the whole organization,
says that Americans are being hypocrites about their country in Qatar. FIFA told players not to wear pro-LGBTQ or One Love armbands.
Oh, yeah.
Because then they could get a yellow card and they could face having their captain status stripped away.
Not only that, you take them off, you could ban them from the stadium, ban them from the team.
It's been a nightmare since it's been over there. You're not supposed to drink beer. You're not supposed to bump uglies. And now you can't have any sort of protest, even though Team USA, not on their uniforms, but on like their practice facility, they've got like the rainbow logo up of Team USA.
Of course, egregious human rights violations, especially when you're talking about the migrants that built that facility and the facilities around Qatar. 6,500 dead. One died a day. I think they're immigrating from Nepal. Just horrific conditions. And trust me, you want to talk about oppression. I mean, they don't like the gays there at all, or the Jews.
Nope.
It's
usually if you put the word "the" in front of somebody, Qatar doesn't like them.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, you'll go to jail. I mean, it's banned completely. I mean, so here's FIFA, the president, Infantito,
Rico Suave.
He blames the U.S. and calls us all hypocrites for everything going on.
I think for what we Europeans have been doing in the last 3,000 years around the world, we should be apologizing for the next 3,000 years before starting to give moral lessons. This moral lesson giving, one-sided, it's just hypocrisy.
Well, that's what the Qatar is actually saying. All right, I mean, Qatar paid for all this.
Right.
They lined the pockets of the FIFA president. They lined the pockets of the board members of that organization, and it's all corrupt. And they built that entire facility on the backs of migrant workers, slave wages, slave conditions. And this guy, you talk about hypocrite. This guy is crazy.
And they're so corrupt. FIFA is so filthy and so corrupt, and they're trying to wag their finger at everybody else. And here is the president once again talking about social injustice.
Today I feel Qatari. Today I feel Arab. Today I feel African. Today I feel gay. Today I feel a migrant worker.
I mean, those last two especially, got me shaking my head. Gays and migrant workers, two of the most mistreated human beings on the planet there in Qatar. You go to jail if you commit a homosexual act and they find out about it.
Right.
And like I said, I mean, the headline from NPR in February of 2021, 6,500 migrants have died building those facilities over there. I don't want to hear it. It makes me sick, actually.
Meanwhile, here in the United States, where a bunch of people, for the most part, who have never been out of the country, talk about how oppressed we are here all the time.
They don't know the meaning of the word.
Right. On MSNBC, one of their hosts, and again, maybe he's been to Qatar, maybe he hasn't. I don't know. But his concern is that when America is part of the hosting of the World Cup in 2026, that this country is going to face all types of criticism because of our abortion problems.
No one is saying Qatar is perfect, but I'm urging us to be a little bit more nuanced in our critiques and resist simply parroting generic Orientalist tropes. I wonder if any of these American pundits grandstanding about human rights will call for the U.S. to be stripped of hosting the 2026 World Cup for the way elected leaders in this country and our judicial system in this country have rolled back reproductive rights or are trying to ban the word gay in public schools or even ban books.
None of that is true. You can still get an abortion in this country.
Right.
The Don't Say Gay bill is the parents' rights bill.
And the Don't Say
DeSantis.
Gay bill was intentionally labeled that by the media to try to slander Ron DeSantis.
No, please, there's no comparison here between Qatar and the United States. Zero.
So a couple gay guys who were locked up at best or possibly beaten or worse compared to having an abortion in the United States. Yeah, those are the same, according to this MSNBC host. Redamn-diculous. All right, when we come back, I don't watch many movies.
I know that.
Not a movie guy.
Nope.
But I did watch the Christmas Story sequel.
Oh.
I watched it over the weekend. I want to give you my thoughts on that movie. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I want to give you my thoughts on that movie and a debate that I had with my boys about the movie A Christmas Story. That's coming up next.
At Landmark Recovery, we know that living life addicted to drugs or alcohol is isolating and empty, especially during the holidays. Do you really want to live life that way? Get help with your addiction to find a more fulfilling way to live life. Reconnect to who you really are and the people who love you most. Get addiction help with Landmark Recovery. Call 866-LANDMARK or visit landmarkrecovery.com today.
Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Aristotle said that. The Singer Financial Team embodies it so your family can live it. This is Brian Singer. Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people.
This is Erica Baker, advisor and team member with Singer Financial. Our clients expect excellence from their financial advisory team. At Singer Financial, our mission is to be the last financial team your family will ever need or want. We understand that requires a deep level of engagement and trust. At Singer Financial, we take the time to get to know you, to understand what you need, and also what you want from your investments. We can help provide answers to the questions you may not even know to ask. That means we don't really have clients. We have relationships with people, relationships with couples, relationships with families who deserve excellence. Feeling valued and trusted by your family is the most rewarding aspect of what we do. That's why our team is committed to excellence. Excellence is what you should expect when you choose to partner with Singer Financial.
The Singer Financial Team has developed and refined a proprietary process designed to help people who are still working create a work-optional lifestyle. We call it the RIM. The Retirement Income Money Map looks at 5 key areas of your financial life and then informs your choices to design a lifestyle as unique as you are. The RIM process puts all the pieces of the puzzle together to increase your chances to live the lifestyle you've imagined for your retirement.
Our team can help make your money live as long as you do. Go to singerfinancialgroup.com to explore the RIM process or call 317-852-9153 to schedule a virtual or in-office discovery visit.
Investment advisory services offered through registered investment advisors Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, and AE Wealth Management, LLC. Working with Singer Financial cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Do you have a wet basement problem? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, Indy's most trusted basement waterproofer. Your basement is a very important part of your home. Whether it's finished or unfinished, there's nothing worse than a wet, unusable basement. Swanco's Basement Waterproofing will fix your wet, unusable basement permanently and forever. Protect your greatest asset, your home, by waterproofing your basement today. Call the real, local, family-owned waterproofing experts at Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, 317-407-1868 or swancollc.com.
Attention passengers, this is your pilot speaking. Looks like we're gonna have to land immediately. And hurry to the Xfinity Black Friday sale. Folks, we've got clear skies and lots of binge watching ahead. Stream your heart out when you get the ultimate streamer setup. We'll be cruising in so new Xfinity customers can get 400 megabit internet with unlimited data and Xfi Complete for just $55 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. And a free 4K streaming box included. Plus, for a limited time, get HBO Max included for 1 year. So, sit back and relax with internet made for streaming and access to classic favorites. Flight attendants, prepare for binge watching.
Drop everything and get to the Xfinity Black Friday sale, now through December 5th. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Ad-supported plan of HBO Max. After promo, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with a symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Learn how a Retire Shield plan from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors provides clear, straightforward retirement solutions that are custom tailored for you. This Sunday on WIBC from 9 to 10 a.m.
Remember to sleep in Friday morning because the sleep in sale starts Friday at 10 a.m. at Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan.
All right, so last time we spoke, Matt Bear, there was a little bit of chaos, a little bit of a ruckus going on out on the roads.
Can you describe the ruckus?
Thank you.
Westbound.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Westbound 465 on the north side. That's where we're at now with stop traffic because of a disabled vehicle in the left lane at the 865 interchange as it's backed up past Michigan Road to US 31 Meridian. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware. Remember to sleep in Friday morning because the sleep in sale starts Friday at 10 a.m. at Sullivan Hardware and Garden at Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we've got sunshine at 49 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is right over there. I almost watched the Christmas Story sequel with my family over the weekend. We got to watch something. I think we ended up watching Dennis the Menace Christmas or something like that. So we're saving it until after Thanksgiving. What did you think of the movie? You watched it. I know you have thoughts. Ralphie's all grown up.
Correct.
Right?
So, again, I'm not going to spoil this. So if anybody hasn't seen it, you can keep your radios up. I'm not going to be that guy. But it's not a comedy. That's all I'm going to say. It's not a wall-to-wall laugh fest. It's like in the first Christmas Story, there's a lot of laughs, right? You laugh at, things throughout the movie. I think, honestly, there may be more tears than laughter in this.
Oh, no.
And that's all I'm going to say.
Well, I don't want to cry when I watch this movie.
So I'm just saying, like, if that's, the information you have going into it, be ready.
But I've been known to get choked up at certain things.
You have.
I've been known to puke at certain things.
Quite a few things, actually, on this program.
So, you're like 4 out of 5 stars, 5 out of 5 stars, 3 out of 5 stars?
A legit 3.5 out of 5.
Out of 5. Okay.
Right. The first Toy Story, Christmas Story was real campy and cheesy, and this one is the same. It's very traditional to the first one.
Okay.
But it's certainly not as humorous, and I'll leave it at that.
All right.
Now, this was the debate that the Hammer Boys had over the weekend. So my kids, Chris and Jake and myself, you know how every year people say Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
No,
Die Hard
it's an
is a
action movie.
Christmas movie. We think Christmas Story is an action movie. Christmas Story, the original one.
The one from the 80s?
Right. Should fall into the category of an action movie. Because these are the things that take place in the movie A Christmas Story. The original one with Ralphie and the Red Ryder BB gun. There's a big fight.
Yeah.
There's blood. There's swearing. There's a little animal cruelty.
Wait. Animal cruelty.
Remember the Bumpus's dog gets its ear caught? Someone almost loses their tongue. Someone almost loses their eye. A kid gets kicked in the face. There's gunplay, and somebody gets shot. Now, you go down the checklist of all those things and tell me, how is this not an action movie? The first Christmas Story is an action movie.
Oh, well, I'd say getting shot. You're talking about the Red Ryder BB gun. You're talking about, you're not talking about with an AR-15.
No, but if you remember that scene where Black Bart comes by and Ralphie's fantasizing about having his gun, there are people being shot.
A fantasy sequence. I'm not sure I have enough to argue with you on this one.
Thank you.
I don't. You're totally right.
So if you're going to watch this on, let's say, Netflix, the genre shouldn't be Christmas. It should be action. You should find A Christmas Story right there with Rambo and Bloodsport and all of these movies.
It's going a little far now. you might be reaching the hyperbolic phase of this conversation. Now, you're right. The swearing, I had to turn it down last year when Ralphie's looking at the like the commercial. Like
right.
I forget what it was.
A crummy commercial?
Son of a... But he says the word.
Right.
I kind of had to mute that. My brother's like, or my son's like, don't do that, Dad. What does he say? And it's my fault. Just turn it down, just to be a good dad.
If I told you Stallone has a new movie out where somebody almost loses an eye, somebody almost loses their tongue, there's a big fight, there's blood, and there's swearing, and oh yes, there's gunplay, you would say, oh wow, this sounds like it's an action-packed thriller.
Point well taken.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
This holiday, give the people you treasure something they'll treasure, a gift from Shane Company. Our unique jewelry makes a spectacular gift. I'm Tom Shane. One of my favorites is an elegant necklace featuring a colorful east-west gemstone with diamond accents for $250. We offer it in 4 different gemstones, so you can select a color she loves. Choose red garnet, purple amethyst, sky blue topaz, or yellow citrine. Another favorite are diamond huggy earrings for $1,145. I picked these hoops because they fit close to the ear and are great for any occasion. Select either white gold, yellow gold, or rose gold. Our link necklace at $525 is a favorite because the diamond accents give the gold a touch of sparkle. Visit us for more gifts at a great value. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
This is Sam Hyde with the Salvation Army. This Christmas, over 5,000 children in central Indiana are depending on Angel Tree to put gifts under their Christmas tree. We need your help to make this happen, so we're making it easy to participate right from home. Angels can be adopted online by visiting salvationarmyindiana.org/angeltree. Choose your angel, buy their gifts, and return them to the Salvation Army by December 3rd. Learn more at salvationarmyindiana.org/angeltree.
There's the good parts we all think about. The crackling of wood on a cold winter night, the warmth and glow in the room. And then there's the other part. The stale campfire smell, the potentially dangerous creosote buildup. It's easy to forget about the importance of fireplace maintenance. The certified professionals at Chimney Solutions Indiana can keep your fireplace clean and safe using trusted products and repair techniques. Call 317-757-6979 or go to chimneyindy.com. Hubler makes it easy to get your perfect car or truck. Get your vehicle your way. They'll help you pre-order a vehicle built just for you. Visit drivehubler.com.
Hey, Hammer and Nigel here. What's going on? Hammer, tell us about one of those fantastic local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealers.
How about Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling in Franklin? You can make a difference. Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in Johnson County, cordially inviting customers and the community to join them to a big donating event for the Good Cheer Fund of Johnson County. Marshall is going to donate $10 for every service call through December 12th. The Marshall team will also be collecting monetary and canned food donations and assisting with stuffing and delivery baskets. Really cool thing that they've got going on. Support your neighbors in need with good cheer. Schedule your next service appointment at callthemarshallnow.com. That's callthemarshallnow.com. Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling in Franklin, your trusted American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in Johnson County. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Hopes are high for IU Hoops with one more run for Trace Jackson-Davis and Race Thompson and Xavier Johnson and promising newcomers like CJ Gunn and Jalen Hood-Schifino. And IU basketball lives here. Little Rock comes to Bloomington to take on the Hoosiers. Wednesday, pregame at 5:30, tip-off at 6:30.
Game and Indiana's within
on your home for IU basketball. 93 WIBC.
Coming up in 2 minutes, what to expect in your forecast after a cold weekend in Indy. Chris Davis reports on a predator in Indiana who was sentenced to more than a dozen years, and someone else is throwing their name into the hat for Indianapolis mayor. That's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Shepherd Community Center studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Did he do it on purpose? I'm Frank Motak, Fox News. Police are questioning the driver of an SUV who violently slammed into an Apple store outside of Boston today, killing one person and leaving more than a dozen injured.
Police and fire units converged on an Apple store in Hingham, Massachusetts, after it's believed the SUV plowed through a plate glass window at high speed. Plymouth DA Tim Cruz says it could have been much more tragic with a store full of people.
It's Monday of a holiday week. I don't know exactly how many people were in there. I'm sure that we will find out once we have an opportunity to review all the documents and tapes.
Cruz says the driver is with police, adding tests and interviews will be done to see if a criminal case is warranted.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. A man suspected of opening fire at a nightclub in Colorado Springs over the weekend is now being held on murder and hate crime charges. The attack at the LGBTQ club left 5 people dead, and authorities now say 18 people were injured. 22-year-old Anderson Aldridge faces murder charges and 5 counts of committing a bias-motivated crime, in this case against the victim's actual or perceived sexual orientation or gender identity. Police say the attack was stopped by a club patron who grabbed the gun away from Aldridge, hit him with it, and pinned him down until police arrived minutes later. New developments today in the collapse of cryptocurrency exchange FTX. The company owes creditors at least $3.1 billion, according to new court documents filed by FTX. And the Justice Department says it busted another massive cryptocurrency scam, this one based in Europe.
Federal prosecutors say 2 Estonian men defrauded thousands of investors out of $575 million in a fraud and money laundering scheme. The 2 Estonian citizens were arrested in their home country after a grand jury in Washington state returned an 18-count indictment.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Warming back up. 49 degrees and sunny in downtown. Nothing on your radar. Low of 26 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. The past few days have been colder than most Novembers in Indiana. This week, it's going to be warmer than normal.
As we move into the holiday weekend for Black Friday and travel back if anyone's traveling, still temperatures above normal and dry weather expected.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service says highs will be in the 50s most of this week, only a slight chance for rain Thanksgiving Day. The attorneys for Richard Allen filed a request today that Allen be released without bail. Allen's lawyers say they've reviewed the probable cause affidavit and the proof of guilt or presumption of guilt isn't strong. Allen is charged for the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German. He tried to find an underage girl to meet for sex on Kick. Now a man from Western Indiana is going to the federal pen for 12 and a half years. Chris Davis reports.
Indiana has its share of creeps. That's according to data from the U.S. Attorney's Office that says we've got the second most of the 94 federal districts in the country. But Conrad Krumhout of Cayuga is going away because he tried to pick up a Homeland Security agent sending her child pornography, some featuring himself, for months before they busted him. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
IMPD Sergeant Peter Feckes is on administrative leave. The department says he's been summoned to an Ohio court on allegations of driving drunk. Sergeant Feckes told his supervisor about those allegations before he was placed on leave, says IMPD. If you order something from Amazon for Christmas, odds are it'll get where it needs to be on time, says spokesperson Andre Woodson Jr., talking to Inside Indiana Business at the Greenwood Fulfillment Center.
The coordination between our incredible workforce and our robotic technology that picks up these packages, they deliver it to our customers or to our associates so they can package them up, and then we can send those right to the customer's front doorstep.
In Indiana, 24,000 people work for Amazon and are busy sorting and distributing packages. With traffic at 5:04, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, we're on the east side, southbound 465, slowing up from 70 down to Arlington Avenue. North side, stopped in those westbound lanes. Before Meridian over to 865, it's a stall. Yeah, it's there at the 865 Rams blocking the left lane. Traffic sponsored by Comcast Business. Start saving with Comcast Business Mobile, all on the most reliable 5G network. Most reliable based on Root Metrics U.S. reports. Results vary, not an endorsement. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Colder air sinks in force once again tonight. Temperatures falling down into the 20s in the overnight hours. Sunshine, dry conditions as high pressure remains in control for your Tuesday. Expect high temperatures in the low 50s. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here, the man suspected of killing 5 people and injuring dozens of others at a LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs, facing murder charges and hate crime charges. Hammer, again, one of the stories here, just an awful, horrific thing. But man, you look at the hero in this story, the guy that grabbed the gunman's, like snatched it out of his hand and then beat him with it and then subdued him until police got there. I want to know who this guy is.
Right.
I want to know the name of this individual because this could have been much. It's already awful. One is one too many in one of these things. But this is, I mean, that's a story that is just amazing to me.
There's a lot of similarities between things that have happened here in central Indy and what took place in Colorado Springs. So you mentioned the hero. Of course, the first name that pops into our mind is Eli Dicken, the kid in the Greenwood Park Mall. I say kid, but he's, adult, but fires his weapon to save others and prevents even more casualties in that food court in the mall. Also, similar to what's happened here in Indy, the shooter in this situation was known to authorities, and a lot of people said he should not have had a weapon.
The weapons he had were legally purchased, but you're right. He was known to police. He should have been prosecuted for bomb threats and kidnapping allegations back in 2021. And the prosecution decided not to move forward with those, and hence the red flag laws could not be enacted.
So it kind of feels like what happened with the FedEx situation here, where, the information was there. The authorities had the information. All they had to do was move forward, act on it, do just a little bit of work, and maybe this could have been prevented. So again, we're not going to say the guy's name, but he faces murder charges, hate crime charges. And one of the things I see going around social media, and I'm not saying that it's not true, is that 80% of LGBTQ students say they faced harassment or assault at school. 80%. Now, that's a big number. Now, again, I don't know if this is true or not. It's one of those things that's being shared all over social media. But I guess my question is, how many just regular, straight students say they were harassed or assaulted in school?
Get bullied in school,
Right.
I wonder what that, it's got to be
gay,
like 80,
straight,
80,
everybody. Just put them all into one big category.
Put everybody in the big melting pot. The numbers probably got to be 80%. All right?
If not 80, then maybe a little bit lower. But I think if you ask a lot of people at any point, were you ever harassed or
made fun of,
assaulted, heaven forbid, in school, the number's probably going to be pretty high. So again, maybe this is a big deal. Maybe it's not. It's one of those things that goes around social media that just got my brain thinking. I wonder what the number is if you just lump everybody together. How many people throughout the course of their time in school, from kindergarten through graduation, say they were picked on or harassed at some point? We have an update on somebody we haven't had in a long time, which means we get to play the official Bill Barr music.
I love Bill Barr. Trump's old attorney general.
Right. And again, that's way different than anything Toby Keith ever said. That's why we don't have to pay royalties. Bill Barr says that Donald Trump has been, quote, fading for months, and he should stand aside and not run for president again.
If he had just exerted some self-control and discipline and dialed back his pugnacity and his nastiness a little bit, he would have won the presidency and had a second term. And he didn't do that. He failed. He didn't do what the whole country hoped, that he would rise to the occasion and rise to the office, and he didn't do that. So he's had his chance. He obviously does not have the qualities necessary to unite the party, which is the first step on the road back, and he should stand aside.
Yeah, I mean, that's Bill Barr, Trump's attorney general. He is basically saying Trump's ego is getting in his way. I mean, this should be a home run a la Carter versus Reagan coming into the 2024 election. You have an unpopular president, you have high inflation, high gas prices, and this should be ball game. But because Trump doesn't tone it down, then that really hampers him and gets in the way. Now, nobody else is running against Trump right now in the Republican Party. And he had a lot of time. He's going to be in the media forever. Forever feels like 2 years to me. And he's going to have a big war chest of money for sure to compete with. But Bill Barr's point is, yeah, look, this should be in the bag, but you need to check your ego
right
at the door.
And I don't know if Donald Trump is capable of doing that.
That's lack of discipline.
Right. Maybe he is. And I will say that even though nobody is in the mix right now to compete against him for the presidency, that will change. Because I'm telling you, Pompeo is going to run. Now, everybody in this room, I think, has about
Pence,
the same chance of winning as Pompeo does. Mike Pence, probably going to run.
Nikki
Haley, probably going to run. And this brings us to Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis does not need to be in any hurry. He can sit back, do Florida man things, and then come in at the last minute and save the day if he chooses to. He might not want to. I don't think his stock is ever going to be higher, but maybe, just maybe, he rides this out for a little bit. We'll see. But I do think you are going to see ultimately a handful of people try to run for the presidency, knowing they're not going to win, but it gets their name in the news cycle. And maybe if the Republican candidate wins, maybe that's Trump, maybe that's somebody else, they can weasel their way into some sort of cabinet position. So speaking of elections, I think we're finally past counting votes in Arizona. Did they get everything done in Maricopa County finally?
I don't think it's anywhere near. I think they need to be called for a recount, for sure.
We're going to have the next president before we find out the midterm elections from Maricopa County. But they had a really interesting city council meeting recently. The first one since all of the vote counting. What was it, 6-7+ days of vote counting? And let's just say that some of the folks in Maricopa County were a little bit fired up.
Good morning. Once again, the eyes of the world are upon Maricopa County for another botched election. Am I here to accuse you of stealing the vote? Heavens no, for that would make me a terrorist, wouldn't it? Let me ask you, if you took your life savings to a bank and the teller put them in a machine and the machine kicked out 1 out of 4 of your bills and the teller said, don't worry, we'll put them in box 3 over here and we'll let you know how many were in there later. We'll send them off to a separate location and someone will be sure to get back to you and tell you how much money you have. Would you be okay with that? No, you would not be okay with that. Now ask yourself the question, which is more valuable, your vote or your money? Now ask a lobbyist that same question. Now ask a campaign manager that question. Now ask Mark Zuckerberg that question, which is more valuable, your money or your vote or your country or this world or the corruption that is taking over every single county in this nation? And then you look into your own soul and you look back at yourself in the mirror and realize that you are the cancer that is tearing this nation apart. Good day.
Thank you.
That was a council meeting in Maricopa County, and look at me in the eyes and tell me he doesn't remind you of Sam Kinison and Back to School.
Going up against Charlie, slugging it out with him. Well, f***sies like you. We're back here partying, putting headbands on, doing drugs. Listen to the goddamn
Oh! And then you look into your own soul and you look back at yourself in the mirror and realize that you are the cancer that is tearing this nation apart.
Oh, God, tell me more. Say it.
Same guy. I know Sam Kinison isn't with us anymore, but he's been reincarnated. Matt Bear.
Looking at the east side, southbound 465, stop and go 70 down to Arlington Avenue. Inbound 65 grinding from West Street to the north split, and then on the north side, jammed up, packed. Westbound 465, hardly moving. Before 31 over to 865 because a vehicle tapped out in the fast lane. Traffic sponsored by Meijer. Get Meijer Black Friday deals all week long, like buy one, get one for $1 on shoes for the family, in-store only. Get more for your money at Meijer. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I got a Twitter poll up right now, at Hammer and Nigel. Is A Christmas Story an action movie or not? I laid out my case why it is. You could vote on Twitter. It's also up on Facebook, Hammer and Nigel. 49 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Another news update is minutes away.
Victor Butler is charged with murder, and police say he shot and killed a carjacker.
Get the facts.
The fox was guarding the hen house.
This committee will evaluate the status of Joe Biden's relationship with his family's foreign partners.
Not just the talking points.
We're going to continue to support our Ukrainian partners.
What events
I will not seek re-election.
We'll happen to be there.
It will close 6 schools and move some students to new schools as well as teachers.
On the level. On the go. 93 WIBC Mobile News.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for just $40 per month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. Plus, ask how to get a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 1/1/2023. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Compare pricing of top carriers. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Comcast Business Internet required. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep services for 12 months for discount. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
PXG is now open in Indy, baby. Introducing PXG's newest retail store, PXG Indianapolis. Get fitted for hot new PXG golf clubs and our brand new state-of-the-art fitting bays. And shop PXG's off-the-hook apparel, hats, bags, all sorts of stuff. So come by our beautiful new PXG Indianapolis store, 6091 East 82nd Street. We'll be waiting for you. PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Imagine if McDonald's was always within reach. Chicken McNuggets, golden crispy fries, all in the palm of your hand. With the McDonald's app, you don't have to imagine. Exclusive deals on all your delicious favorites are just a tap away.
Download the McDonald's app for a free Big Mac. Offer valid one time through the last day of the month for first-time app users at participating McDonald's. May take up to 48 hours to appear in your deals. McD app download and registration required.
Diamonds Direct is celebrating the holiday season by extending our special 20% savings offer through this weekend. So, you have a few more days to take advantage of the best prices of the season, an extra 20% off store-wide. Start your holiday shopping now and save big. Everything is included. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, colored gemstones, and yes, thousands of engagement rings are now an extra 20% off. Our selection for the holidays has never been better, and that includes our breathtaking collection of loose diamonds, hand-picked exquisite diamonds in all shapes and sizes. Don't miss this special extension of our biggest and final store-wide sale of the year through this weekend only. Save an extra 20% on a multi-million-dollar inventory of fine jewelry. Ask about special financing, too. Diamonds Direct. Get all the details at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Tickets on sale now for Christmas Nights of Lights at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Purchase online early to reserve your time slot. Reservations are required. Christmas Nights of Lights is brighter than ever this season, as they have added several new light displays to their show of over 2 miles of driving route. They're excited to reveal one of their most creative and colorful light displays, the Field of Lights. Christmas Nights of Lights is open nightly, all holidays, rain or shine. November 11th through January 1st. They are reservations only, so purchase tickets at ChristmasNightsOfLights.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
When the weather turns severe, turn to the WIBC Storm Desk, presented by Technology Recyclers, certified electronics recycling. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Fashion Store.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show. Jason Hammer is here. My name is Nigel. Trying to get down to the bottom of exactly what happened with that Colts game yesterday, coming up a little bit after the news, the bottom of the hour, with Kevin Bowen from 107.5 The Fan. There actually is some other sporting stuff going on. It's made mainstream news, Hammer. Who's this Marcus Stokes dude? He's a pretty well-known high school player, right?
One of the best high school quarterbacks in the country, had committed to play football for the Gators, the Florida Gators, had a full-ride sponsorship lined up, but that scholarship, has been removed because he got busted doing a social media post where he's rapping along to a song, and the song happens to have the N-word in it.
Ah, okay. So Marcus Stokes is a white boy, I'm assuming.
Correct. White guy rapping along. The N-word is in the song, and he's lip-singing along to it. He's not even saying it. He's lip-singing along to it.
He's lip-syncing? And they yanked the scholarship for that?
Correct.
They're going to ruin his kid's career? Because, now look, I would never advocate for probably getting on social media and using that word, no matter what race you are.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you're telling me he didn't even say it out loud. Because I didn't see it was on his own social media, wasn't it?
It was like a TikTok. And on TikTok,
man,
you play the song, you lip sing along with it, and that was enough for the Florida Gators to say, you know what? We're taking the scholarship away. Here's the problem. Here's a bigger picture with this, man. And again, I don't like the cancel culture stuff, but
of course not.
You can't be an idiot at the same time. And I have coached baseball for a long time. I've been around athletes. My oldest son is an athlete. I have seen a lot of these kids. I guarantee you, nobody in Marcus Stokes' inner circle, whether it's his dad, mom, guidance counselor, friends, have probably pulled him to the side and said, you got a lot riding on your right arm. You're a quarterback. Don't be an idiot. Because so often you see these really good athletes get away with everything because they're good in sports. Nobody wants to tell them no. There isn't anybody trying to discipline this kid. And they always say, don't judge a book by its cover. I've seen Marcus Stokes. I'm judging this book by its cover. This kid is Malibu's most wanted, right? He's the white kid with the crooked sideways hat, with the tats and the
gold chains.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet nobody has pulled him aside and said, all right, now that you're this big time athlete, there's going to be people trying to bring you down.
Yeah.
There's going to be things you have to do differently. You're held at a higher standard. You've got a full ride scholarship to one of the biggest universities employees in the country just don't do anything stupid. But everybody wants to be his friend because they want something from him later on.
Surrounds himself with yes men, I believe is what they call them. So
100%.
And here we have the result. Like it or hate it. I don't like it at all. I don't think he should. Has any other school said they're going to pick him up? Somebody's going to pick him up, right?
Yeah, he's a 4-star quarterback recruit, and somebody's going to pick him up. But
again, he wasn't even saying the words. He lip synced them along with the rap song with the N-word in it.
Correct.
And they yanked his full ride scholarship.
Let me ask you this. If he were black, do you think Florida would have
no, of course
revoked that scholarship?
No. Of course not.
Because the separate rules. If you're black, you can say that word. If you're white, you can't. Even though he never really said it.
Look, it'd be different if he was on social media calling somebody that to their face or something like
Pulling
that.
a Riley Cooper.
Yeah, from what did he play for, the Eagles?
Yep, and guess where he went to college?
Yeah,
Florida Gators.
Oh my gosh, that was yeah. So I would say probably yes if he was on video calling somebody that might be warranted, but this doesn't make sense to me in the least.
Reciting a rap lyrics, and you're going to pull a scholarship away. Okay,
I saw some other NFL news here that kind of made mainstream headlines is that linebacker from the Raiders retired because he sold his Pokemon card for $500,000?
$650,000.
I got the number wrong. I'm sorry.
So
what's this?
This is a linebacker for the Raiders, and again, not somebody that's like a Pro Bowler or somebody that's getting millions of dollars. He's a guy that's probably lucky to be on the team, but he got into contact with this extremely rare Pokemon card, and he sold it for over $500,000. And he said, "You know what? That's good enough for me. I'm retiring."
Well, that's it? He must have been like on the practice squad. Blake Martinez, I believe is his name. Selling the holy grail of Pokemon cards is what the headline reads. The holy grail, $650,000. So is he going to continue on selling rare Pokemon cards?
I don't know what he's going to do, but he sure as hell isn't going to be playing for the Raiders. And let that sink in for a moment. His options were sell a Pokemon card or play for Josh McDaniels. And he said, sign me up for selling the card.
I got another one of these, man. Here's one for you. A viral video. A man running outside. He turns himself into a bear to protect his dog who is being chased by an actual black bear. Now, you're going to hear his wife screaming as the black bear is chasing the dog in the yard. And then he comes out at the end and goes... he goes full bear to scare the little bear away. Here we go.
Bobby! No,
So again, what he did was if you're watching this video, he turned himself into the bear. He started making bear noises to scare away the real bear.
So visualize this. He's got his arms up. He's running out at the very end. He's chasing the bear around, and he does this.
Yeah. And the bear took off?
Yeah, it worked. It totally worked, which means it's time for another round of great moments and shooing away Bears history. This was the guy that slapped a bear to protect his dogs and girlfriend, and it totally worked.
Get back! Get back!
He went full Will Smith on the bear. Full Will Smith.
I think this is my favorite segment we do.
Great moments in shooing away Bears history. This is a vastly different approach when this woman sees a bear try to come up on her back deck.
Get down from there. Get down from there. Right now. Go. You get down from my porch right now. Go. What do you think you're doing on my porch?
Sounds like my 5th grade teacher.
You get down. Go. How dare you?
So you have one guy going, ah, ah! and you have this woman. How dare you? Great moments in shooing away Bears history. This was the guy that was trying to reason with a bear when the bear was feasting from the bird feeder.
Stop it right now. No. Stop it. Down. Bear. No.
No. No.
No. Down. Bear. Bear. Down.
Like he was trying to get his cat off his kitchen counter, except it was a giant bear on the bird feeder.
No.
Get. Go on, get.
And, of course, the remaining champion, the undisputed champion of great moments in shooing away Bears history, the guy that was on the hiking trail.
Yeah.
Quad.
I don't know. You think that guy's better than this?
Quad.
No, I like this guy better.
Yeah. All right, Kevin Bowen's coming up next. Right now, let's take a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
A warm Thanksgiving week, 49 degrees, clear skies in Indianapolis. Lows fall down to the mid-20s tonight. Skies should stay clear. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. Even though it's going to get cold again in December, things are supposed to warm up this week.
And on Tuesday, we'll see another dry and sunny day and highs in the lower 50s. And by Wednesday, we get into the mid-50s, again with more dry weather.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there's no chance for rain until Thanksgiving Day. Even then, it's not expected to be anything substantial. Richard Allen's lawyers have asked he be released from jail while awaiting trial. They believe after reading the probable cause affidavit, the proof of guilt or presumption of guilt isn't very strong. The charging documents haven't been made public yet. A special judge in Allen County will listen to arguments about releasing those documents Tuesday. Allen is the man who's been charged for the Delphi murders. At least one person was killed and several others hurt after an SUV crashed into an Apple store in a town south of Boston. Fox's Gernal Scott reports.
It's not being said who was killed or if the act was intentional. Plymouth DA Tim Cruz says it could have been much more tragic with a store full of people.
It's Monday of a holiday week, so therefore I don't know exactly how many people were in there. I'm sure that we will find out.
Cruz says the driver is with police, adding tests and interviews will be done to see if a criminal case is warranted. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
If you order something from Amazon for Christmas, odds are it'll get where it needs to be on time, says spokesperson Andre Woodson Jr., talking to Inside Indiana Business at the Greenwood Fulfillment Center.
The coordination between our incredible workforce and our robotic technology that picks up these packages, they deliver it to our customers or to our associates so they can package them up, and then we can send those right to the customer's front doorstep.
In Indiana, 24,000 people work for Amazon and are busy sorting and distributing packages. With traffic at 5:32, here's Matt Baer.
Harrison, we are still stopped on the north side, westbound lanes of 465. Before Meridian over to 865 because of a disabled vehicle. Vehicle tapped in the fast lane, causing the backup. Also slowing down the exit lanes from southbound 31 to westbound 465. It's a mess. Inbound 69 slow, 96th Street down to 82nd, and on the east side, southbound 465, stop and go 70 to Arlington Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware. Remember to sleep in Friday morning because the sleep-in sale starts Friday at 10 a.m. at Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Colder air sinks in force once again tonight. Temperatures falling down into the 20s in the overnight hours. Sunshine, dry conditions as high pressure remains in control for your Tuesday. Expect high temperatures in the low 50s. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Colts lose in brutal fashion at home to the Eagles 17-16. We'll go to the drivehubler.com hotline and bring on Kevin Bowen from 107.5 The Fan. KB, what was the number one factor in your mind? What was like the number one thing fans can point to, that you can point to say this is why the Colts lost that game yesterday?
Yeah, I would say the offense, just the inability to score, finish off drives. It's now 6 games this season. They've scored a touchdown or less. It's really hard to win football games when you do that. And I would say maybe the second item on that list would just be an inability to finish. And, obviously the offense, again, more to blame for that. But still, your defense had a drive there at the end and got Philly in a 4th down and even a 3rd and goal from the 7. I mean, those are chances that I think a defense, especially one that's played as well as the Colts has this season, would like to kind of slam the door shut and kind of finish off that 9th inning, if you will. They played so well for 8 innings. Just unfortunate to see the end in a game that, if you win that, it's got the potential to be kind of a season-altering victory.
Yeah.
So if I'm Gus Bradley, if I'm the defensive coordinator of the Colts, and I get it, they melted down on that final drive, but I think any fan would say if you hold Philly to 17, you're going to have a chance to win. What's going through his mind right now? Do you think he's looking for other jobs? Do you think he is so frustrated with what's happening here, not getting any support from the offense, that he's probably looking elsewhere?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I think what happens to the staff obviously is going to be a huge storyline. Like, if Jeff Saturday, the permanent head coach, does Jeff Saturday want Gus Bradley as defensive coordinator? You would think yes, but, again, Jeff Saturday you would assume if he's going to be the permanent head coach, would get full autonomy to hire, whoever he wants. And then to your point, does Gus Bradley want to be here? That would be kind of another element of all of this. Granted, it would be a 3rd different, stop in 3 years if he were to leave here. But boy, you got to be so frustrated if you're a Colts defender. I mean, DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, Stephon Gilmore, guys that have played really good football for you all season long. Yesterday, I thought you finally got some real impact from Yannick Ngakoue. Coming off the edge there. That's been kind of a missing ingredient to this defense. And what stands out to me, I guess a couple things about the defense this year. I thought something the old defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, that unit really struggled with is when they played the league's best, it kind of looked like a below-average unit. Well, when you've played Philly and Kansas City this year, you held the number 1 ranked scoring offense of Kansas City to their fewest points of the season, 17. And then you held Philly yesterday, the number 4th ranked scoring offense in the league, to their fewest points, also scoring 17. And they've done it without Shaquille Leonard, who, has been such a turnover machine for the Colts throughout his time in the NFL. So when you look at that stuff, it probably adds to how even more impressive the defense has been.
Kevin Bowen, the Kevin Query Show, 107.5, The Fan. How about I'll add another one to the list of reasons why the Colts lost yesterday. Brutal penalties. I mean, those were some killer penalties of pass interference, lots of holding, illegal man downfield, plus that and the miss kicked, right? We'll add those two. Penalties and the miss kicked.
And I'd probably harp even more on the penalties, Nige. Yeah. I mean, when you look at what happened last week at the Raiders, it was kind of the reverse. You had like a 40 or 50-yard advantage in penalties. Yesterday, Philly had a bunch early on, and then all of a sudden you look at the end of the game, and I think the Colts had, I want to say it was 35 yards more in penalties, and you brought up that defensive pass interference there on the game-winning drive by Philly. That's a 39-yard penalty. I mean, that is a huge play there to get them. And at that point, what you do is then you kind of eliminate any worry about the clock, and now they're on your side of the field, and they kind of methodically moved down the field, and then obviously the Colts got the ball back, pretty late after that. So, that penalty and then your offensive line. I mean, left tackle and right guard have been issues all season long. The rookie left tackle, Bernard Ryman, gives up 2 sacks and 2 penalties. And the second-year right guard, Will Fries, who we should note, this is the 3rd different right guard. This is the 3rd different left tackle of the season. Never good. None of those due to injury. Will Fries has 3 penalties himself. So 5 of your 9 penalties from those 2 young offensive linemen at the 2 spots that has hurt this team the most this season.
I was texting with some of my buddies early on in this game, Kevin, and the Colts opening drive was great.
That was awesome.
It was Jonathan Taylor right down their throat, stop him if you can, ended with a touchdown. And the Colts defense, they played well. They got Philly to punt, so the Colts get the ball back. It's 7-0. They've got all the momentum. It's 3rd and 1. Jonathan Taylor was rolling, and Parks Frazier calls some sort of pass play that doesn't work. You have to punt the ball back, and man, it just feels like all the momentum was sucked out of the room at that point.
Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I believe on that drive you had 3 straight passes. You had an opening pass to start the drive, which lost 4 yards, a little dump to Jonathan Taylor, and then after that you got the 13-yarder to Pittman, and like you said, the 3rd and 1. Yeah, I mean, if this was Frank Reich yesterday, I mean, he'd certainly be roasted for that. They got a goal-to-go situation late when they could have put the game away. And they kind of got a little too cute, I thought, in that area. I was probably most disappointed by the rushing offense yesterday. That was a weakness for Philly. It's been a weakness all season long. It's been even more of an issue for them over the past few weeks. And Taylor has that great opening drive, like you mentioned. The rest of the game, he had 34 yards on 15 carries.
I believe that's called an adjustment. The Eagles made an adjustment, right?
Yeah, there we go. Coaching 101 there from Nigel. Exactly. And they just dominated the line of scrimmage and dominated the interior. And I didn't even feel like Taylor had many running lanes the rest of the way. And again, this has been such an area where Philly struggled in, and they were coming off a short week where they really got banged up. So I think that's probably what adds.
Speaking of calling plays, has the screen pass ever worked for the Colts? Especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, Tom Moore, he loved the stretch play.
The stretch play.
Oh, God, I hated the stretch. And then every time I see them call a screen pass, I'm like, no! It's always some bullet out of the defense just comes and just tackles him. It's just crazy. I hate that play.
Yeah, the screen has had some issues. Wide receiver, running back wise. I don't feel like they've been able to get their tight ends involved.
No.
I don't know if it's been the biggest story of the season, but I think they've really missed Jack Doyle. Maybe seeing Zach Pascal yesterday, I think you missed his reliability. You guys are really good blockers for you and just really solid players. And not to get too deep in the weeds with you guys, but I think what you saw yesterday is you saw a Philly team that had some struggles in their run defense. They go out last week. They made 2 pretty notable free agent signings to improve their run defense, and it worked. And you look at the Colts this season, 31st ranked scoring offense. And please find me one outside of the building free agent move they've made on their offensive line, with their wideouts, with their tight ends. They fired their OC. They fired their head coach. They benched their starting quarterback. Yet all that other personnel around has stayed in building, stayed in house. At some point, you got to look at the roster and the personnel and say that's the issue offensively.
But wait a minute. Chris Ballard made it perfectly clear, Kevin, that he can't possibly fix the offensive line and draft receivers at the same time. He made that perfectly clear in the press conference, did he not?
Yeah, multitasking. Don't have Chris Ballard cook the turkey and do the stuffing on Thursday afternoon. He made that very clear. What
was the Eagles head coach? What's his name?
Sirianni.
What was his deal at because I know this is kind of a homecoming for him. He worked in the Colts organization as a coach for a while, and then was he chirping at other Colts fans there at the end, or do you know exactly what he was doing?
Yeah, that's what it appeared to be. He is an extremely fiery individual, and I took that, and I don't know if you saw his post-game presser. He was it was kind of emotional talking about Frank Reich. Basically, I take that for 2 things. He has an incredible relationship with Frank Reich. Without Frank, he does not have this opportunity, and that is him defending one of his close friends and certainly close professional relationships. And honestly, I think it's a middle finger at Jim Irsay in saying, I know full well what you did behind the scenes, and you didn't give, my guy a chance to have the best success this season. And I think that's where you saw his passion and his fire yesterday post-game.
But you know what, Sirianni? If you love Frank Reich so much, he's available right now. If he's such a great coach, if you're going to say all these things and be a complete D-bag after winning, go hire the guy right now. He's available. If he's a once-in-a-lifetime Vince freaking Lombardi, put him on your staff right now. But you're not going to do that because this team has been garbage all year.
Well, maybe. Do you think Frank Reich was behind the scenes last week, giving Nick Sirianni a few...
tinfoil hat, Kevin! Tinfoil hat! Let's go!
Get out the tinfoil hat!
I love it. KB, tell us where we can get more coverage.
Yeah, 7 to 10 a.m. Every day. Their sister station, 107.5 The Fan, and also 107.5thefan.com. So appreciate always hopping on with you guys. You guys have a great Thanksgiving.
You got it. You too. You and your family. Thank you, KB.
Thanks, KB.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
71% of Democrats now say Biden could win re-election.
We'll talk about it Tuesday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
The latest local news, commentary from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey,
5.6%.
Hammer and Nigel,
Biden.
podcasts. Listen to the station live, whenever, wherever, online at WIBC.com.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for just $40 per month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. Plus, ask how to get a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 1/1/2023. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Compare pricing of top carriers. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Comcast Business Internet required. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep services for 12 months for discount. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and the past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Right now, buy 4 Ultimate washes and get 2 free. Available online or at any Crew Car Wash location. Plus, get a free bonus wash now through November 30th.
It's the season to give thanks and celebrate family and friends with the traditions that comfort us, like enjoying honey-baked ham, slow smoked for 24 hours with their special blend of hardwood chips, spiral sliced for easy serving, then fire glazed right in the store to create that sweet, crunchy finish they're famous for. It's why 4 generations of families have made honey-baked ham the centerpiece of their holiday dinners since 1957. Taste the tradition with 2 Central Indiana locations, West 96th Street and Michigan Road in Indy and East Greyhound Pass in Carmel.
There's only one you, and you only have one heart. That's why Franciscan Health is here with the highest level of heart care that's personal, compassionate, and sensitive to your needs. Known for embracing innovative technology and advancements in care, our nationally recognized heart team is committed to helping you protect the only heart you've got. To schedule your appointment with a heart care expert or to get a second opinion, visit franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
Are you a builder, remodeler, contractor, or installer? Then you know LP SmartSide Expert Finish Trim and Siding products are engineered using advanced siding technology that's now stocked in color. Each manufacturing step is designed to create durable siding and finishes that will perform beautifully for decades. Is backed with one of the best warranties in the business and available for quick shipping. ABC Supply is America's leader in supplying and serving building contractors. For more information on SmartSide Expert Finish, contact your ABC representative or go to lpcorp.com/expertfinish.
Staples stores are a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Explore more at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com.
Pierce Jewelers has a spectacular array of diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond rings, and diamond bracelets. They shop the world to bring you the very best. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
Hammer, we have the stall that cleared on the north side, westbound 465 and 865. Traffic is improving at the front of the line. Still stop and go, though, from Westfield Boulevard over to Ditch Road. Eastbound 465 slows Keystone to Allisonville Road, and on the east side, southbound 465 jammed at 70. Slow to Arlington Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware. Remember to sleep in Friday morning because the sleep-in sale starts Friday at 10 a.m. at Sullivan Hardware and Garden at Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
49 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
I'm not afraid to take a stand, take a stand. Everybody, come
the Hammer and Nigel show. More show after 6 o'clock. I have not watched the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony yet. I think they just played it over the weekend on HBO Max. I'm a HBO Max subscriber. I probably will watch that. It's something I'm interested in. But Eminem was one of the inductees.
In the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, not unprecedented. Many rap acts, Jay-Z, Beastie Boys, just to name a few.
LL Cool J, I think, is in there.
Have all been in. Here is Eminem from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Probably not supposed to actually be here tonight because of a couple of reasons. One, I know that I'm a rapper, and this is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Secondly, I almost died from an overdose in 2007 because drugs were delicious.
Good Lord.
And I thought we had a good thing going, man, but I had to go and it all up and take too many.
Thank you, Eminem. Round of applause.
Real ringing endorsement for sobriety right there. Yeah, drugs are delicious. If I hadn't taken a lot of them, I'd still be doing them. If I hadn't have almost died, I'd still be on them.
Drugs are delicious.
Let's see. During the ceremony, they paid tribute to some artists that we lost in 2022. John Mellencamp and Bruce Springsteen came out with Zach Brown to perform a song in honor of Jerry Lee Lewis.
Kiss my baby. Ooh, feels good. Hold me, baby. I wanna love you like I love should. You're fine, so kind. Tell the world that you're mine. I take my nails and I feel my.
So, Great Balls of Fire. Want to hear the rest of this?
Nah.
Oh, you might as well. Here we go.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
We talked about it earlier. The whole Mellencamp, like sitting down for the anthem thing.
Just to ruin it all for you. Huh?
Man, it doesn't take that much effort just to stand up. And especially when the NFL's trying to do like military, appreciation month, where they try to tie into, patriotism and country, even if it's just a big, profitable thing, stand the hell up, dude. Come on.
Does the fact that he might have some sort of condition medically?
Did you see that picture? That wasn't a medical condition. He had a big ass thing of popcorn. He wanted no part of standing up for that thing. No part.
Okay.
At least he wasn't smoking. I'm surprised that he wasn't sitting down smoking inside of Lucas Oil Stadium.
He's just always been a surly guy to begin with, and he's been down on this country ever since Trump took office. And that's him, man. That's Mellencamp. And
there was some late night show. I think it was Letterman. We went on and he took a knee. Remember that?
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, yay. All right.
Let's have some beers. Let's reconvene after 6.
Okay. Deal.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show, 93 WIBC.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com. I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Tickets on sale now for Christmas Nights of Lights at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Purchase online early to reserve your time slot. Reservations are required. Christmas Nights of Lights is brighter than ever this season, as they have added several new light displays to their show of over 2 miles of driving route. They're excited to reveal one of their most creative and colorful light displays, the Field of Lights. Christmas Nights of Lights is open nightly, all holidays, rain or shine. November 11th through January 1st. They are reservations only, so purchase tickets at ChristmasNightsOfLights.com.
Today's forecast is a chilly
boiler. Living room turning into an icebox? We'll be right there. And 1 hour heating and air conditioning? We're always on time. Call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourheatandair.com. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
The next time you visit your healthcare provider, we'll ask you about your race, ethnicity, and preferred language. Why do we ask? We ask because we care. Providing you with the highest level of care requires that we know all we can about you. Not only will this help us take better care of you, it will also help us learn more about our community and the additional services we can provide to keep Indiana as healthy as possible. This message is brought to you by Indiana University Health, Eskenazi Health, and Community Health Network.
Don't wait until Gold Friday. Get revved up now.
Duarte in the corner for three. Too strong. Turner the rebound. Puts it in.
The Gold Friday deals presented by KeyBank have tipped off, and these deals won't last long.
McConnell again. Six in a
row. Give it to him. 3 Gold Friday deals presented by KeyBank are underway with Pacers tickets starting at just $5. These deals are limited and only available for a limited time at Pacers.com/Gold Friday.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Join us on Monument Circle for Downtown Indy Inc.'s 60th Annual Circle of Lights, presented by IBEW Local 481 on Monument Circle Friday, November 25th from 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy this free, time-honored holiday tradition in downtown Indianapolis with enhanced lighting and video elements, outstanding live entertainment, a festive beer and whiskey garden, and, of course, Santa. Go to downtownindy.org/holidays to learn more. Cheers and happy holidays.
Tony